Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, obviously brought to you by the great... I mean, the boys are getting nude. Oh, fucking here we go. Here we go. What a fucking G-up. What a fucking G-up.
Life is too short to play.
Oh, my God. What a fucking G-up. Look,
It's too short.
I admire the preparation.
It's too short.
It reeks of a team or a club that lost on the weekend and is about to lose their lifetime club player. Did I say boy band syndrome was a thing? Did I say that?
We've never been more united. Never. We went down in a famous loss to the top of the table.
The top of the table.
And DCE has said on many occasions he's not leaving. Unlike your players.
You know when Titanic is sinking and like everyone's just jumping over the edge and like hitting the propeller and shit and
That's
like...
Denon. Not you and me, mate. I went Jack and Rose up the back.
That's great.
Well, you're like that fat guy with the whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just getting hammered.
Yeah. I'm Leo.
Okay. Well, let's speak about DCE then. You know, clearly, you know, the guy that he backflipped and then he, you know, sacrificed so much to stay at the club and then they're putting things out there. I mean, he's pretty much gone. He's pretty much already signed with another club.
No,
Boy band syndrome is a thing. Tommy has torn this club apart. You know, what's the saying?
It's the journos trying to sell newspapers.
It's it, man. It's all trying to, and you know what? It's trying to sow seeds of doubt. Like,
die a hero, or live long enough to become the villain. Maybe that is Tom Trbojevic.
Everyone is seeing the phoenix from the ashes that is the Manly Seagulls rising, and they're going, fuck, we need to start sowing seeds of doubt to try and get this team unstuck. Start pushing DCE around going, oh yeah, maybe to Souths, because Souths are going to get rid of their fucking, you know, Adam Reynolds, they're like beating heart for DCE.
Well, Manly are getting rid of their beating heart.
Well, we're not though, because that's sowing seeds of doubt.
Okay.
Or what? DCE is going to go to Brisbane?
I don't think so.
I mean, where he goes doesn't matter.
Life's too short to go to Brisbane.
But what does matter is the club is falling apart after an absolute domination on the weekend by Penrith Panthers.
Beat them, dude.
I mean, I know you're going to say that.
You take away that like Liam Martin fluke.
Which you do, because we wanted the 7 tackle set.
Obviously, you take that away.
Obviously, you take that away, and you'd admit that. You'd admit that. So then it's a 6-point game.
Yep.
We attack the line 3 or 4 times in a row. Jake Trbojevic makes an uncharacteristic error.
Grubbiest player in the game. Honestly, Hargreaves and Trbojevic, very similar.
Well, we know you're taking the piss now because he whispers in people's ears that he's sorry when he snaps it in half. He drops the ball there, and then the Panthers go the length of the field on the next player and go over. So from
take
where
that
on,
one away.
So you take that one away.
Now it's an even.
If Jake catches that ball, he crashes over. We ended up winning essentially.
Against the former grand finalists, undefeated in 400 years or whatever.
But weren't they due for a loss though?
Well, yeah, they pretty much did.
But they got one.
They pretty much got one.
And didn't Tommy score and you didn't win?
Statistical anomaly.
But we did win.
Statistical anomaly. But you didn't win. You're not in the 8, unfortunately.
No.
I feel bad for you boys. You know, I was really rooting for you on the weekend. I was like, please win, man. Oh, fuck, such a great club. Because you know why I was happy?
Why?
Because Broncos had the greatest comeback that I've ever seen in sport. Honestly, there was a period there. There's a period there where I thought 17 Gordon Tallises were playing. That's how much we were ripping and a tearing.
Then why does everyone want to leave?
Yeah, what's that?
Because he can't handle the ripping and a tearing.
So the club's just, the players are all, so it's the players, they're just all cats, they want to bail?
No,
they're all allergic to ripping and tearing.
This is all allegedly.
When you wake up to news, like when you roll over,
yep.
You know, it's midday and you've just woken up and you're seeing Xavier Coates signs with the Melbourne Storm. What do you do? What goes through your head?
Well, just all it says that if he wants to go to the Storm, he clearly doesn't want to be part of a generational team at the Broncos. Kevy's turning the boys around.
Is he?
You know, we had a big win on the weekend. He's at training, as reported, spraying the boys. That's the standards we're setting right now. And I feel like 2 weeks ago, we had the spirit of Darren Lockyer in Croft. And then unfortunately, he didn't make that first grade side 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, which was interesting. That was odd.
Yeah. But that maybe, you know what, when a spirit of Darren Lockyer gets in your body, it takes a few weeks to recover. Have you ever had Darren Lockyer inside you?
Yeah, I have. A couple of times. Yeah. I got 2 tries last night and did 2 Ostags. So, yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Well, you're probably going to get dropped next week.
yeah. Prepare to get dropped.
You're probably going to get dropped. So, now, Gordon Tallis gets inside of 17 blokes. They go out there and have the biggest comeback in the history of the club. Are they the greatest rugby league side to ever play for the Broncos? I don't know.
What do you make of Jermaine Isako's defensive reads at fullback?
Look, I thought it was all part of the showmanship.
So is he like going, let's just see how
The
far behind we
showmanship
can
or
get?
the ruse?
No, the showmanship.
So was it a wool pull? It was like, let's see how far behind we can get, and then I'm going to turn it on.
Exactly. You've all come to Suncorp. It's a derby. You know, we're not getting the same amount of fans we used to get.
In fact, I think your memberships have halved.
I mean, hard. That would be massive. That would be huge if that's true.
They have.
And so Osaka's just trying to get, you know, the commercial side at the Broncos have gone to Osaka and said, look, Osaka, you're so fucking good. Can you just let in a few tries and then tear them apart, bring the fans back? So that explains that.
He'll leave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jermaine's probably looking to
James
get
Remain's not going nowhere. He's putting bums on seats. And
The more you win, the more at risk you are of not being able to fill the side. Because their value goes up, you know what I mean?
everyone
Other
just
clubs
goes,
start
"Yeah,
to sniff
I'm getting
about and
the
they
fuck
go,
outta here."
Jesus Christ, have I got an opportunity to fuck
Can
off?
I bail?
no way. They're going, am I going to be a part of one of the greatest turnarounds in rugby league history? That's
Read
what they're
the
saying.
shirt.
Life's too short, bro.
Look, some people can't handle the highs of playing for a Bronco. It's like being a drug addict. Like, yeah, it's too short to be a drug because the highs are too high and you come crashing down. So, yeah, you may come crashing down, but it's because the heights that you've reached as a Bronco. I'm staring right now, thinking of Lockyer. I'm thinking of guys like Gordon Tallis. I'm thinking of the 6 premierships we won in a very short period of time. That's the heights we kind of reach.
Yeah.
And that's where we're headed.
Reach.
Yeah,
Reach.
Former.
Reach. So, fantastic win. It was incredible. And I couldn't be
It
more...
was a good win.
I'll give you that. It was entertaining to watch.
But are you concerned about the fact that no one wants to sign at the club? Like no players.
No,
you know,
because-
you're going like, oh, let's get rid of Dearden so we can get maybe Mitchell Moses, say. Or we can get maybe
And then
Adam
Mitchell
Reynolds.
Moses just goes,
Mitchell
you know
Moses
what, I'd
goes
rather rip my eyeballs out.
Yeah, I'll take unders, and like you can slam my dick in a car door if I don't have to go to Brisbane.
All part of Kevy's plan.
Okay.
Now, some people aren't going to be able to see that plan because they haven't won as many premierships as Kevy.
It's true.
But when you've won that many premierships, you're thinking on a different level, and you guys will never get that. You know, like, did any of your 5'8" win as many premierships as Kevy?
Could you explain the thought process behind letting Reece Walsh go?
Look, I
That's
thought
obviously
that-
from Kevy's. That Kevy
Look,
let that
we
happen.
let him go, develop his game. We're going to bring him back.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Harry Grant situation.
Yeah, 100%.
But he
It's a
signed for
loan.
a couple of years, though.
Yeah, no, but it's a loan. You just
okay.
didn't know that. Like, it's, as I said,
Or was he too good looking for the Broncos?
Look, as I said, Kevy Walters is working on a different level.
Yeah.
We let him go. Look, what's the saying? If you love them, let them go. If they leave forever, they never loved you at all. Reece's coming back, baby.
Okay, right.
Reece's coming back.
Reece's coming back.
And we're just proving that we've got true love. Manly got
He'll come
towed
back
up.
to the country. I don't think he'll go back to the
Manly
club.
got towed up. That was great to see. And no, if I'm being honest, Manly actually looked fucking really good.
Yeah, dude, to be honest, like,
Liked a bit of polish, bit of boot polish.
bit of polish, but to go up against the Panthers and to not get, and especially after we got rammed the first time we played, to
How
be
good
able to keep it close. And at one point in the second half, it was like, oh, we were still in the fight. I was pleased. A famous loss.
Look, I know
It was absolutely a fame. I can
famous
meet
loss.
you there. I'll meet you there.
I
Famous
know
loss.
that Roger Fabri gets a lot of airtime on this podcast, and I would say rightly so. Jason Saab dancing delicately down the touchline in one of the great rugby league tries of all time.
One of the great rugby league dancers of all time.
Like,
It was beautiful
from
to
a
watch.
purist, but because you're a purist.
I'm a purist.
And a winger.
And a winger.
And a winger.
It was beautiful.
As a winger's winger.
Yeah, I am a winger's winger.
You know what I mean? Surely you look at that and bar up.
Look, I barred up and I thought, how does a man so big move that fast? And the only answer that came to my mind was Fabri.
Cadence.
It was all cadence.
Did we see? And also, Saab dancing down the sideline. There's no coincidence in my mind the fact that Roger also released a video of him dancing during the week on his Instagram where he looked hot as shit. He was shaking his ass. What's that called again?
Booty roll.
Twerking.
The young
I thought it was
people
a
call it
booty roll.
twerking.
Well,
a mixture of
booty
both.
roll,
I mean, to be
twerking.
honest, I think Fabri has kind of mixed a few different kind of dances together to
Yeah.
bring his own flavour
Yeah.
to dancing and the dancing world, and it worked.
I can't believe I forgot it was International Dancing Day.
I know.
Are you shocked that you missed that?
Yeah, I missed it, dude.
I was filthy. I literally yelled to my missus, I can't believe you didn't fucking tell me. It's International Dancing Day.
Thank God we got
Roger
Rog.
got one up on all of us,
Yeah,
really.
he did.
If there is a man to remember Dancing Day, I think it's Roger.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it was tremendous. Yeah.
It was.
Got all the juniors in there, the academy,
Oh, beautiful.
bit of choreograph.
And it shows the people, look, I'm not all about high speeds, record breaking, dancing, wingers that are 6'5".
No.
I can dance too.
Or abusing people in my Instagram stories in
I'm
a
not
really
about that.
ambiguous
You
way.
know what it was? It was Roger's way of saying, listen, I'm a man of the people. What do the people like to do? They like to
They
dance.
like to dance.
So
Always
do I.
have. Tales old as
So does
time.
Roger.
You can't be elite all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to switch off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Wind down.
you know, I mean, maybe Roger and Ricky could have a chat about balancing the switching on and off. Ricky Stuart, Roger Fabri.
Stewart. Well,
they're
I
both
mean-
elite.
Look, Ricky needs some help. Ricky certainly needs some help in balancing the on and the off. I don't know that I would have liked to have. I mean, if Canberra couldn't get any shitter for those players as just a place to live, cold as fuck, wind chill, I
They're
assume,
sacrificing.
all the time, then to have Ricky as a salty, like, bitter girlfriend in the same room, where you're like, oh, I'm sorry, Ricky, I know that we fucking pissed you off.
Apparently
didn't
George
win.
Williams is homesick.
George Williams from like the north of England is like, even I hate Canberra.
I didn't like the way that the article, at least the one I read, was framed. It implied that he was sick of Australia and he wanted to go back to England. I'm like, let's be honest here.
There's no way that's
There's
true.
no way that's true.
That's just a lie.
You're Canberra sick, mate. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, exactly.
You're Canberra sick. You're not sick of Australia.
No, dude.
If he went to a club that won, like if he went up to the Peninsula, say,
every time
like
they
the
have a
Northern
road
Peninsula.
trip game, he thinks he's on holidays.
Do you
He's
know what I
like,
mean?
dude, this is great. We're getting out of this shithole.
Imagine if he'd signed with Manly at the start and he was living in DY.
You think he'd get homesick? No English players.
I
The
don't think so.
Burgesses didn't get fucking
Well, he's
homesick.
living in Manly on the course. Are you
The
going to be
Burgesses
homesick?
all bought fucking like palatial estates in Maroubra and
They haven't-
shit.
they haven't
Every
left.
single fucking pom who goes to Canberra's like, I've got 2 years at best before I
Yeah.
want to get the fuck out of here. John Bateman.
John
number
Bateman
one.
goes, look, I'm a devastating footballer. I'm carving up. Obviously, if I go back, I'm probably going to win a Man of Steel.
And
But
we made the grand final with him.
And
And
we-
he's like, you know what, dude,
I cannot live in
no amount
Canberra
of
1
grand
second longer.
finals is going to get me to stay in this absolute shithole. Respectfully to anyone from Canberra who's watching.
No, I'm not saying I dislike Canberra. I'm saying most people do.
It's a tough place to live. It's, I mean,
You ever
my
lived
miss, literally one of the first things I said to my missus when I found out she was from Canberra, I said,
Oh, shit. Well,
that's
with all
fucked.
due respect to your missus as
No,
well.
I said that's fucked.
I've got cousins there, so
I said you're hot as, but that's fucked. And I honestly nearly broke up with her on the spot. And that's coming from I'm a 4 out of 10. She's up in the high scales.
She's in the 10s.
And I was close to walking away.
But you got to understand, though, you're a Canberra 10.
No, not even close. to
No,
that.
dude, you're a Canberra
Look,
10 for
I
sure.
appreciate the compliment, but not even close to
It's
that.
not that much of a
the
compliment.
blokes in Canberra, wouldn't let you in.
That makes sense,
mate.
That makes sense.
You're too hot. You'll still.
Dude, no, he's a Canberra 10.
That's the only
Get
reason
fuck
she's
outta
with
here.
me, because she's used to Canberra 10s and she got a Gold Coast 4.
But that's like a Canberra 12.
That's a Canberra 12. So I'm
Dude,
punching down.
Yeah,
She's punching.
She's punching.
Fuck her. I'm done.
Dude, leave her. Leave her.
Okay. I'll shut up now. I'll shut up now. But I wanted to read you some things that it really got if this is true, wow, things could get explosive. So Hooper, I'm pretty sure it's Hooper. No, Danny Widelight.
Love Danny White.
Apparently, Danny Widelight, and there's actually a picture. What we're looking at right now, guys, is just Danny Widler's head, and then there's an article, and you can only read the sides of the article. You actually
You've got
can't
to actually guess most of it.
guess most of it.
Danny's shoulder and microphone are covering 90% of the screen.
Danny Wilder said, how do you reckon it was for Joey at training yesterday? I'm getting a bit of mail. I'm getting a bit of mail from who? Out there that Ricky let him know what he thought, and Ricky is up for the fight right now. I can't say the exact quote, but basically he's in for the fight with his players. If they want to fight, I'm up for the fight, and he used a few explicitives in there as well. I mean, if your coach is saying to a journo, those boys want to have a fucking crack, I'm ready for a fucking crack.
I'll bang with these boys.
Oh my God.
Dude, Ricky.
Wow.
That's either 100% bullshit or that's outrageous.
That is fucking...
I'm up for the fight. If you boys want to throw, I'll throw. What the fuck?
Now that'll
I don't
be-
think so.
Surely undercard of Gallen and Honey,
No.
but like, Jesus Christ. I don't know you know, what the sort of coach-player relationship's like, but have you ever come across a coach in your time that's prepared to fucking punch on with you?
Look, Wayne is notorious for punching on with his players.
Okay. So it's actually a bit of a...
Honestly, it's a norm. Like, look, you drop a ball, throw the gloves on, go in the gym,
and you
fight.
sort it out.
Yeah, you fight. Like, Wayne's been knocked out at least 100 times. And that's why the players play well for him, because they feel sorry for him. He's fucking nearly died during the week.
He's got CTE. Everyone's right out to play with CTE.
And so, look, it's if it's true, which, look, let's be real, it's probably not. That's pretty crazy that he's like, look, if they don't agree with the way I coach, like, there's got to be, where's the bridge? You know what I mean?
Can you understand, though, from Ricky's standpoint, where if you go, hey, Tarpane, hey, Tarps, can I call you Tarps? Can you tell your missus to fucking chill out on the gram? Because she can have that opinion. You can come to me and have that opinion. But she's had a couple of shardies, maybe, on the couch and got on the gram and starts having a crack at the coach. It's like, that doesn't help the situation.
Well, but you know what definitely doesn't help the situation is telling Danny Widler that you're ready to fight your players. Do you know what I mean?
Of course it doesn't fucking help. But I
think there's a better way to deal with it.
I am all for Ricky fighting his players. I love it.
You know what does help the situation? No, it's totally fine. Had a chat. It's all good. Boom, gone. End of story.
Done.
Do you know what I mean?
But maybe Ricky wants to send a message that he'll fucking punch on me anyway.
So that's either fucking absolute nonsense or
maybe this is the evolution of Ricky's coaching style this season.
Okay.
So he's having the tantrum last week. That didn't work.
Holding
his breath and shit. He almost passed out. Realised that no one was prepared to help him. Was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna have to do it my way." Which is, if you boys don't win, I'm gonna flog the lot out. Line up. I'll fucking have all out.
Yeah, like Tyson in prison.
Like Tyson in prison.
Just fought all the prisoners. Ricky's gone, come into my office and I'm going to beat the fuck out of every single one of you.
There's 30.
Get a W.
Yeah.
A squad of 30 on Monday just walked in and they were just walking in, getting bashed, walking out, walking in, getting bashed.
And the first person who knocks me out gets a fucking contract.
If that's true and Ricky's prepared to flog the lot of them for 2 points, I'm bullish again on Raiders this week.
You are. You love the Raiders.
I'm bullish.
But yeah, in all seriousness, look, I think that, like, you know, Tarpon is misses. It doesn't help the situation, but she's entitled to say what she wants to say.
Of course she is. But if you're playing fucking in the NRL and a teammate's misses, if you're already under the pump as a club and your teammate's misses come out and does that, are you guys as a team, you're not a bit like, ugh, come on,
but
did she delete it?
She probably did delete it, but like,
you know what I mean? A few shardies.
But like, look, it's more along the lines, like, it's not an issue unless the media picks up on it and makes it more of an issue. But the last thing you want to do...
Of course that's what the media does.
But the last thing you want to do is make the media get more info and ring in Danny Wilder and go, mate, I'm going to fucking flog every one of these cunts. So if that's not complete bullshit, I just reckon the best thing would have been... Like, I think the best thing would have been was Ricky did like a press... Like, not a press conference just for that, but do Monday... You know, just answering questions about the loss, and he just goes, spoke to Joseph, spoke to his missus. It's totally good. We're all good. We're all on the same page now. That's it. That's the end of it.
Someone should make a meme video, you know, like they did at WWF, and Ricky is Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out and stunnering everyone in the ring, and it's just all the fucking Canberra Raiders players. I'd love to see that.
Do you honestly, just to go back to this one more time, in your estimation, how much truth is in old Danny Wilder's
Yeah, you're saying it might be
here?
bullshit. Is he just completely...
I reckon.
Is there a chance he's fucking made Tom that he's just made this up?
I think Ricky's gone, look, I'm going to set standards here, and if they're not going to meet it, then they shouldn't be here. And then he's translated to... I'm ready for a fucking fight. That's what Danny... It's been...
Well, maybe he said, I'm going to fight for my boys and for my club.
No. I think he would have said, look, we're going to have standards. We're not going to deviate from that, because we've seen that. He dropped Tarpon, he rested Papali. Like, so clearly he's being hard-edged with his decisions. But... Yeah, look, I think that the best way to clear it up would have just been like, look, like, was it perfect from Tarpe's misses? Obviously not. But at the same time, the best way to clear it up is just like, it's all good. We had a chat. Like, just speak to Tarpon.
Ricky's certainly, from like a purely serious standpoint, if Danny Wilder is to be believed, Ricky's fucked up a little bit here by kicking it off. But I still think, if I'm on fucking slick Ricky's side, the Tarpne's missus has started this whole fucking thing by getting on the gram.
Oh, as I said, I understand. Like, I get it. But, like, these things happen. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, these things happen. The best way to deal with it, in my opinion, and maybe they already have dealt with it, but would be literally just to give her a call, speak to Tarpany and be like, look, what's the issue? What's going on here? And then if he's like, I don't agree with this, and then he can be like, well, this is my plan.
Can we get the Instagram? What'd she say? Can I read?
It just said that he should...
You have an international player warming your bench for 50 minutes. Your interchanges are killing us. Refs call count means jack when coaching decision to rubbish.
Look, I mean, that is like, yeah, it's you shouldn't put that up. Don't get me wrong, you shouldn't put that up. No. But at the same time, once it is up, I think the best course of action is to just speak to everyone.
Yeah.
And just simmer everything down. And like, it doesn't mean you have to start Tarpany or whatever, or change whatever you're doing. I just think that like
Ricky will probably drop him.
Could you imagine? But he can't now. He's forced into a bit of a corner because then it looks like he's dropped because of that.
Unless he literally
You can't
just
bag
drops
her
him.
passion, though. She's passionate.
That's what I mean. You got to remember,
She's passionate.
She's a person
She's passionate.
that has an opinion as well. Like,
Yes.
I know it's not the best, but like at the same time, like Ricky gets to sit there and say Tarpany's not playing as well, Papali's not playing as well. I know it's his job. I'm just saying, like, if you to play devil's advocate, she's allowed to have an opinion on
100%.
you know,
Pick your time.
you know. But I just think that this is a chance to bring everyone together, like have a chat to everyone and be like, look, this is the way I'm going. Tarpany, I still think you're a big part of this club. I really think like he's fucking such a good player.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though now, because like
Sounds to me
based
like
on what's going on, Tarpany's missus pissed off. You'd assume that Tarpany's pissed off. It's blown up in the media. Ricky wants to punch on with him. Everyone's excited for that. But now like clubs come sniffing.
Sounds to me like it might be time for a barbecue now when everything goes wrong at the Broncos.
Yeah.
They always have these fucking...
Have a barbie.
The barbecue no longer exists.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't exist, but it used to be the day before a game, we did the captain's run, and the guy called Springer, he would cook us the fucking best barbecue you've ever had in your life. All the fucking boys would come together, testosterone would rise, and we'd be ready to fuck.
Yeah.
And then we'd go out the next day.
That's what I'm saying. They need a barbecue.
That's
But
true.
so Broncos don't do that anymore.
To the best of my knowledge, they may do it. They may have brought it back.
But
Were
they
you
didn't
ever
like-
invited to one after you'd finished playing there?
No, fuck. I was fucking no. That's for sure.
Did you ever turn up?
If they invited
Like
me,
if you knew there was one on and you know...
it would be
fucking
weird.
go
They'd be
around-
like, "You only played about 27 games for us."
Famous games.
There's about 100 players before you fucking.
You
move
turn
up.
up with your laptop and just show them your highlights. Go.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good highlights. It's 1 year, but it's pretty good. And it was all outside Darren Lockyer, the greatest player of all time.
Yeah. Place to
Pinch
be.
yourself sometimes a bit like, I know we're just slightly off topic, and we're not interviewing you, but just to have played outside Lockyer and have been able to, like, you must just sometimes go, holy fuck.
It feels like I'm watching someone else. Swear to God, it feels like it when I watch that human being. That's a different human being to me. Don't get me wrong, like I expected to be a professional athlete, but it just feels fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like even watching Carmichael Hunt come back to the Broncos, I'm like, bruh, he used to be my boy at fullback. You know what I mean? Just fucking spinning out cutout balls, dominating Manly. I remember one try.
Well,
he
I was
did his,
being nice.
Yes, he did. He came out the back, he kicked it across. The Wolfman came up too far. Then I went in behind Wolfman, try time, we win the game.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't remember that
Is
game.
he the biggest alpha you've ever been around?
Who?
Darren.
He's not alpha like that. Probably the biggest.
he's not?
You know what? The biggest alpha I've been around
looks it.
is Brad Thorne.
That's not, yeah, that makes
He
sense.
used to stand behind me in the gym and go like this, be like, "Fuck, look how big I am," and I'll be like this little pipsqueak, just like fuck.
Shit.
And
It's like
yeah.
6'4", masculine.
Him or Tony Carroll. Tony
Oh,
Carroll,
yeah, Tony as well. Dude, would you ever like
Who's
walk
the
up
biggest
to Tony and
presence,
just
though, you
touch
know what
his
I mean?
jaw?
biggest presence, probably Petro Sivanasi was pretty hectic, and
Most intimidating. As in like to be a person, not to like fuck up on the field.
Tony Carroll, he just fucking loved
Yeah,
it. Like contact was his thing. He just enjoyed it. Like
Yeah, right.
he's that kind of guy that is gleeful in the mongrel side of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, Shane Webke, he was just intense, bro. Like we would get tailed up and he would be training fucking like no matter what, he would if he was like locked into train, even if he was pissed, whatever, he'd be waking up at 6 a.m, going to do this thing we called the gap, and it was like these fucking hills. And only little fellas like me used to be good at it. Webke is a big fella. All the forwards fucking hated it. And he used to go just run it because he just wanted to. Just
Really?
for fucking fun.
After they lost.
No,
After you lost.
just whenever.
Just in general.
Oh,
just
just
in
go
general.
do it.
He just go do it. Just, I'm going to go do some extra training and just fucking run 8Ks up these hills.
Do you reckon any of those boys are running the gap anymore?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
okay.
I honestly thought Osako ran it before the game. That's how good he played.
That might have been why he was defending so well.
Yeah.
With the greatest respect.
No, bums on seats. We've been through this, bums on seats.
Yep.
Bring the members back.
Bring the members back. Sarko did that on the weekend. Look, yeah, so with the Ricky thing, obviously, yeah, it's just one of those situations where it happens. Just got to bring it down. Simmer it. Because you don't want it to fucking spiral out of control.
But Ricky seems like an emotional guy that can't, he'd probably sit at home after he's given that interview to Danny and just go, fuck, I probably shouldn't have said I want to bash them all, should I? That's probably
And to Danny Widler. It's probably
it's
the
a fucking Danny Widler of all people. That was emotional and unnecessary. And that's probably causing
Would the
more
board
problems.
be going, Ricky, mate, that was...
You can't fight your players.
He can't fight. Look, we can't have it. We can't.
We can't have you bashing the
We
players.
can't have that.
Look, 20 years
we're
ago...
trying to sell members. Like, what a fucking, poor old membership team trying to move
trying to
fucking
get them
memberships and they've got to deal with this shit. Is it true that Ricky wants to bash all the boys? No, it's not.
No, it's not. Unless you're into it, and then
Yeah.
we'll charge an extra fee to come watch.
And they're sitting there going, 20 years ago, mate, we would have backed you, but these political correct people,
fucking-
bashing your players. I know it's politically correct, mate. I
Bloody
know.
lefties, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Lefties have hijacked the world. We know that, Ricky. We know that. But you can't do it.
Mate, back in the day, it was, good times. You could just flog your fucking front rower. Good times. But, mate, you just can't do it now.
And I'd probably back Ricky against his entire...
But it's good. Papali is back, which is really good. I just think that, rather than like any one specific fault, like, obviously you had the Tapani's misses, whatever. And I think it's more evidence that there's something going wrong at the club.
Yes.
There's a disconnect between whoever, I'm not sure who it is. And that's just a symptom of something, a symptom of the problem rather than the problem.
Yes.
Do you think it was there last year? Or is it just sort of bubbling to the surface now when you lose a couple of games?
Well, Ricky's a fiery guy. So, I think that because they're winning, you don't see... he's ruthless, but you don't know how ruthless he is because they're winning. They're fucking making finals. But they've lost 4 on the trot now. So, you're starting to see, look, he's really about that life.
And coach-player relationships are pretty fucking ruthless, eh? Or at least they can be.
100%, especially when you're losing.
It's very easy for a player to get... If they're not doing their job or the coach is overreacting to something that he thinks they're not doing, it's actually not that hard for something to go a little sour.
But also there's, exactly. And there's all these little things, like for example, and I don't know if this is true, I'm just speaking of my experience, but Ricky could have been telling Tarpner to play a certain way and then Tarpner is trying to play that way and he's not playing well. And so Tarpon is, sitting there going, fuck, I try to play your way and now I get dropped for it. Like, why can't I play my way? There's all these roles in the team that you get told to play and then you get dropped and you're like, well, fucking hang on a sec. Like, you say that, I'm not doing the flary stuff that I used to do, but that's because I'm wigging out about dropping the ball. You know what I mean? There's so many things you just don't know about. Or there might be a contract thing. Mate, sign this club and we guarantee you'll start, sign for less, we'll start you. And then you might be sitting there and you're getting dropped. You're like, hang on a sec. When you needed me to sign for less, I signed for less to be here. And now all of a sudden I'm getting dropped because the whole team's not playing that well. So there's so many moving parts. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to consider that we may not realise. It's good Papali's back. George Williams obviously getting homesick. The fact that we're hearing about this, you're basically
you're going.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not. I could be wrong, but if he's homesick now and it doesn't look like... honestly, it looks like another 12 months before everything's going to open up again. Maybe.
Maybe he goes to the Tigers.
Or the Bronx.
Or the Broncos.
Broncos.
You take him.
Yeah, depends how much it costs. Yeah, 100%.
Fucking probably not as much as you're prepared to pay Moses.
Definitely not. It'd be a good buy.
You're sacking everyone or everyone's leaving. So you'll
Setting
have
standards.
some money.
Setting standards.
Katoni ain't staying.
Can't wait till DC leaves you. And yeah, so it's looking like, honestly, I can't see Williams. Well, I can't see Williams staying. That's what it looks like.
No, I know. But that's,
You know
that's
what?
pretty fucked though, right?
DC is the same chances of leaving as Williams. DC isn't happy. He's leaving as well. Just saying.
Bullshit.
Just saying.
Do you, just on Williams leaving, I get being homesick and all that. Do we know how long he's signed for?
I think he's got another year.
Right, okay. So if he goes, there is a part of me, and I get being homesick. I've never been away from my family and friends or anything for that long, couple of weeks. But I don't know, dude. There's just something about you've come out here to play, just fucking rip in and play for you.
But is it more, Thomas,
He hates Ricky.
that he's getting homesick off the back of 4 straight losses and a season in the dunny? Do you know what I mean? Is he homesick now? Was he homesick last year when they were going all right?
Yeah,
Now
it's
making the
interesting.
semis and fucking
You know what I mean? I don't know.
four rounds in.
I think also the fact that we know about it, that's a huge issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get homesick, But how long have you been homesick
Yeah.
for us to
He
know
must
about
be
it
pretty
now?
fucking homesick for us. Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Or he's just going, you know what, I'm homesick because he wants to fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not shitting on anyone for being homesick. It is COVID times, weird times, but also like I am a bit.
Well, it's interesting as well because like it comes off the back of all this other unrest that we're kind of seeing. You know,
Yeah.
Papali needs to step back because he needs to get himself right. You know, the Tarpiner situation and now the Williams situation. You know, like there's something going on there that isn't good. If this many players are having issues, why is that? So
Not good signs.
not good signs at all.
And I don't mind the Raiders.
I like the
like
Raiders.
the
I
Raiders.
think Ricky's a fucking great coach.
They were my smoky at the start of the year.
Yeah, they were also my. I thought they were a better side than they were.
That
last
was Smokies for everyone.
Well, yeah, exactly. And now they just suck balls.
I mean, I don't know about sucking balls. They're still there or thereabouts.
Bro, they suck balls right now.
Okay.
With the greatest respect.
Okay.
And obviously, you're a former rugby league player. You know a little bit.
Yeah,
more
that's
myself.
actually, you know what? I got only one message, but I was like, you know, are they disrespecting the players and that? Guys listening, it's all a joke. It's all they understand. They understand that they're not rugby
We
league
don't
players.
know what the fuck we're talking about, and we say that at the start of every single podcast.
Hello Sport podcast.
Yeah, we should probably start it here.
No idea what you're talking about.
It
No.
was- you know what? That's one. You know how you always like you focus on the one, but there's been hundreds of people that I don't know why they enjoy it, but they enjoy fucking Manly Dogs. But anyway, Isan Masters to the Isan Masters to the Titans.
That's done. Only just heard about that when I got here. That seems like a good signing for the Titans.
Depends how much he's on though. Like if he's on a big wicket, which I don't think he would be. But yeah, it's good backup at the moment.
Do you think the glitter is falling off the Titans?
I think it's about to fall off if they don't turn things around.
Yeah.
Big time. Big
I
time.
didn't. Is it? You think it's falling off, or it could fall off?
I think they're.
I think that if you are 22-0 up, and no offense, go down to a bottom four side.
They were infused by Gordon Tallis' spirit, though. Just
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that. And that, I mean, that may well be a fair point, Dennis. But my point is, they're up by 22 and they let in 38 rugby league points. For a team touted at the start of the year as potentially top four, very good signings, doesn't seem to be fucking happening for them at all.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a very worrying signs that it's not only that as well, though. They got towed up by. Yeah, well, they didn't get towed up. They had a close loss.
They got towed up by Manly.
They close loss to Manly.
36
Close
point
loss.
Close loss. I mean, there was a lot of bad calls. You know, repeat
Yeah,
sets,
yeah,
DC getting the rub of the green, all that kind of stuff. When he goes, you won't have that rub of the green. You'll probably lose every game you get. Anyway, so they lose massively to the Manly. Then they go Rabbitohs and they lose a massive fucking lead in that first half. And then they do it again against the Broncos. Like, this isn't just like tight game. Like, for example, you look at the Dragons. Like, the Dragons, yes, they lost to the Tigers, but it was still a tight loss.
Yes.
So you can cop that. So it's absolutely like, you know, it's looking like the glitter is falling off. They got a choice to make. Do they roll in more glitter or do they let the glitter fall off?
I'd keep rolling.
Gold Coast. I think Gold Coast.
They're all glitter.
You're rolling glitter. You know, they're a party drug town. You know what I mean? It's all about like glitter and pizzazz and
Yep.
like short-term fixes. You know.
Mm.
I think that's what it's about.
I think it's living life on the edge.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
that's sort of the attitude out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you need to bring that living life on the edge back.
Exactly, dude. Bring some sparkle.
Some sparkle.
No substance.
I think you need a team in the league that's all sparkle.
Oh,
all
I think so.
glitter.
Yeah.
Fuck it, footy personified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A few controversies on the yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
It's all part of rugby league. I mean, rugby league and controversy go fucking hand in hand.
Oh,
that's
whoops.
why it's a sport, mate.
They found a pill press at one of the players'
Without
houses. That's
controver-
not my pill press. I don't know how it got here.
Without controversy, rugby union would have won that war in the early 2000s, and the game wouldn't be flourishing like it is.
That's it. So you need some more, like, you know, maybe fucking get a bikie club on as a sponsor.
You know what? Maybe they need to bring the bikies back to the
Maybe
game.
Comancheros on the front of the
put them on the
fucking-
front of the Titans jersey. That'll get them up and about.
And it's a club, brings the boys
You
together.
want to
boys
talk about the
together.
threat of getting bashed.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
There you go. I think there's something to work with there. You know what I mean? Embrace the culture of the area.
Yeah, I mean, because we did lose the bikies a few years ago on the Gold Coast. They got, moved on. So maybe it is
'em
time
back.
to bring them back
Bring them back.
and get the boys together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You get the bikie club on the front, maybe a
Meter maids on the back.
Yep.
We got a stripper.
Meter mates. Meter mates.
Are meter mates still running around?
Are they getting
I don't
around?
think so, but they were
think they
fantastic.
are.
They
Bring
really?
them back as well.
Why wouldn't they? Matt,
Mate-
look that up.
They used to wear glittery bikinis. And
That's
maybe
what
maybe
we're
they've changed.
saying.
Maybe they've changed their bikinis.
Maybe the Titans should change their strip, glitter strip.
the glitter strip.
The Gold Coast meter
And then when you tackle, like, you're tackling people, even glitter on people, so
Which is super fucking annoying. And then you know what?
in your eye.
Then the glitter is on the guys. They go home. The missus thinks they've cheated.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
They ruin
What
the
are you doing in the
opponent's
Gold
season.
Coast?
So then you start, mate.
Sowing
holy
seeds of doubt.
Yeah.
That
All of a
makes fucking
sudden,
sense.
All of a sudden,
you know, 90% of the blokes in the league are divorced.
Yep.
and you're winning the comp.
And you're winning the comp.
They always say happy wife, happy life.
That's it.
You're going home with glitter after a game of footy.
The
You've
boys should wear
guaranteed it.
lippy as
And you're
well.
beating the Gold Coast.
And you've been on the Gold
They
Coast.
should wear lippy while they play and just kiss them on the neck.
And they should have like the meter maids behind certain, like as they run out next to them. So it's like, are you taking pictures with fucking meter maids up on the Gold
100%,
Coast?
dude.
Have you doing that again like you did 10 years ago when you were going to schoolies?
Entrapment, dude.
Entrapment. You know what? Bikies, entrapment, meter maids. That's the recipe to get the Gold Coast back where it needs to go.
Fucking, like, you know, and then Essendon Masters has found a nice home.
Yeah, exactly.
Great place to raise your kids.
Yeah. Great place.
The
Oh no,
family-
like
the
obviously,
family club.
obviously there's an underbelly to a lot of places down in, and there's the nice areas too.
You got to embrace the underbelly, though. I think.
But you got to
Certainly Gold
embrace the
Coast.
underbelly when it comes to rugby with football. Have to.
It's true. It's true.
It's the beating heart.
Mate, you speak facts. Now on to Huni to fight Gallen.
Fight of the century. Australian boxing never been bigger, and I actually don't even think that's a major overstatement.
Well,
Rugby
Tom and I
league
have
and-
always said that boxing is never doing better than when rugby league is at the forefront. So the biggest pay-per-view export or, you know, commodity in the history of Australian boxing is Anthony Mundine, who did what? He played rugby league. Gallen may well be our new Mundine.
Jeff Fennick played a bit for South.
Jeff Fennick played a bit for South. Costa Zoo, loved the game.
Love the game.
he
Kosher,
used to-
Kosher, I think, was the captain of Russia.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's an affinity with rugby league wherever you look.
Yep.
And this is just another chapter in the book of rugby league and boxing. Now, Justis Huni fighting Gallen. Gallen is a renegade. He doesn't give a fuck.
No,
He's
he
like,
doesn't.
all right, I'll fight the fucking Australian champion, not a problem.
The money must be good because Honey not a big name in Australia,
Yep.
really. So it must be someone going, fucking, we'll throw some cash. at
Honey
this.
just made the Olympic side for boxing. Literally.
Yeah, he's going to beat the fuck out of Gallen.
How can you be a professional and an amateur?
He's not an amateur anymore, is he?
I think they've changed the ruling. I think
'cause
like
you
so
have
you
to be
can-
an amateur for the Olympics.
Yeah, I think they've changed the ruling. Like they've because amateur was boxing was dying or whatever. Again, you're gonna have to do your own research, do all that because. But I'm pretty sure because like a lot of people were just going, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go pro.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fucking balls on Gallen.
Big old stones.
Big fucking stones. Honestly, I don't know how he's going to carry him. He's going to have two ring girls carry them into the ring for him.
Yeah.
Because-
Or he needs a barrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. He may have to
Train,
fight with a barrow.
forklift.
You know what? He may have to put them on the stool as he's fighting.
You almost
these
have to,
stones.
right? And, just try and walk over him. That could become a problem, actually. I don't even know if the bookies have taken that into
Are you allowed to have your nuts touching the ground when you box?
I think that's probably why they'd have to be on the stool, but the scrotum's going to be a real fucking pain in the
That
arse.
is a
I
hazard.
think OH&S they dictate need to be on the stool.
How would you...
I don't think you could drag him across a mat.
But I mean, like, are they going to be dragged between his legs and on the stool, and he's just sort of like having to reach out? To try
Well,
his
he
movement's
might,
going to be.
Well, they
fucking
wear those boxing belts as well. He may well tuck them up the back, just have them hang out
wrapped out the back,
wrapped out the back of the belt.
the nut backpack.
It's a little nut backpack on.
like folded under and then just tied up at the back.
Yeah, no,
Sort of
folded
like
under
popping out,
and then hanging over the
popping out
back. Yeah.
And it's illegal to punch him. I
Well,
want
you're not allowed-
Justice
you're not
know
allowed to
that.
punch in the back.
No.
We're
you
not allowed to
can't-
punch in the back anyway.
No, but punch in the sack, even if it's popping out the back, it's illegal. That is illegal.
You know, it would
Your
hurt though.
sack's popping out the back.
It's illegal. To
It's
attack.
illegal to hit it.
What if
Not
it
attack,
accidentally
yeah.
came forward and you got a nut and liver shot? Like he used his nuts to protect his liver. Could be a new tactic.
Well, that could. Well, I mean, I'd prefer to have
I'd
my
be
liver
surprised
ruptured.
if that was a new tactic
No.
to use your nutsack to protect your liver.
No, that's a dangerous. That's a dangerous
I
tactic.
know, like,
Crazy things have happened.
crazier things have happened. But I'd rather get punched in the liver than the nuts.
The nuts.
Have you ever been punched in the liver?
Yes.
Probably. Probably.
Yeah.
Fucking shut your whole body down.
Yeah, but
I'll
so
bet-
does getting hit in
no.
the balls, dude. One shot to it. You can accidentally like graze a testicle on something, and that's like, oh.
You know
I'm
what?
out
I
for
wonder
it.
what is actually worse, a liver shot or a nut shot? Like, as in,
I haven't
pain
been
threshold.
given a liver shot from hell, though.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
No, you definitely haven't.
Because like
No,
I've seen
of course I
like
haven't.
full blown
But have you
boxes.
been given?
Yeah, 100%.
And you've been
It's
hitting
such
the
a
balls,
thing.
obviously.
I have no balls.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to tell you that, but I'm a unit.
Well, so this is going to be difficult for us to meet on some sort of
That's
agreement
why.
here, 'cause
That's why I thought
I've
you
got
could cover it
balls.
because I don't have the nuts to cover my. Okay,
Right.
fair enough.
Telling you, nuts hurt. Nuts hurt.
Yeah.
Take it from me. If you get hit in the balls, sack whack, it canes.
It's painful, mate.
It canes.
It's really painful.
It'll sink a ship.
So Huni versus Gallen, it's a fight of the century.
Century.
But I cannot even believe. Like honestly, I can't believe Gallen's even considering this. Not in the sense of like disrespect at Gallen, because like fair play to him. Fair play.
The guy's the Australian heavyweight champion.
The-
Gal's a fucking
Gallen
legend.
doesn't give a fuck.
Huni's one of the best young boxers we've had in
Yeah.
many years. You know, at the heavyweight thing. So like for Gallen to do this, surely he's got to win some sort of medal for huge nuts.
Definitely. Your services to testicles or to stones in general. There's certainly some. Maybe we put the medal around his sack. I don't think you give it to Gal. You give it to his balls. But
If he's to win.
if he's to win, but well, no, just for stepping in the ring.
Just as- yeah,
a
stepping in the ring.
participation award. But does he like? He must just back his chin, right? Because like, because Huni is like a. Obviously, he's a good boxer, but like he's going to be fucking landing. You'd think Gal's like just going to try and outbox him. Gal
Well,
always talks about not having knockout power.
Well, that's what I think. I think he's going to do the wear on him, the wrestle on him, the leaning on him. I'd assume, but I mean, this is Huni. Like Huni's a legit heavyweight that has
Yeah.
fought other heavyweights. So you
And
think
like
he hasn't
on
seen
the
that
come
before.
up rather than Big Daddy Brown.
If you go,
Who's on the way out? Well,
He's out.
he was 40, 45, 46. He's quite old.
Like a beanbag.
Like Huni.
Big Daddy beanbag.
Maybe that was you thought it was a beanbag. It was actually Gallen's nuts that were fucking
Possibly.
Dude.
Possibly.
being swung around.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I
what,
think
you're
it's
saying Gallen put his own nutsack and won.
he was punching his own nutsack. That's how tough he is.
That's how he knocked out his own balls.
That's how tough he is. He literally had a fight with his own nutsack and won.
And won.
Have you ever seen someone beat their own nutsack in a fight?
Never.
No,
Never,
nutsacks are
dude.
undefeated.
Undefeated. They crushed the biggest man.
Holy
Wow.
shit. That's interesting.
So
That's changed my whole opinion on this fight.
Gal to win.
you hear for
Gal
the
to win
insight.
and win well.
You hear if you come for insight, this is what we bring.
This is exactly what
deep
we come
boxing
here
insight.
I will say this though, I was a little disappointed that he didn't fight Sonny Bill Williams.
Well, I think Sonny
Just
Bill
because I
isn't
think
coming
that
to
would
it.
be a like I'd
that
be more
fight's always
interested
there.
in that. I think.
That's more Sonny Bill's side though. So Sonny Bill wants to get I'm pretty sure wants to get like Gallen wants to fight
Yeah.
Sonny Bill ASAP.
Does
And
the
Sonny
Gal-
Bill
the-
doesn't want to fight.
No,
him.
I think he does, but he wants to get like
wants
a
to get
few
good,
fights in
right?
his
Okay,
under his
right.
no get ring fit. That's why it's so surprising with this fight. It's because like is Gallen thinking, look, if I lose to Huni, then fuck, who cares, whatever. But could it devalue Gallen if he does lose? And Sonny Bill will be like, you know what, I'm not going to fight you because you just lost and your value's gone down.
I don't think it'll devalue him.
Sonny v Gal could genuinely be the biggest fight we've ever fucking had in Australia.
Seriously,
Like,
It would be.
like you look
again-
like you're talking Danny Green, Mundine's probably the biggest we've had.
Yeah, you go
Probably on
Sonny
that
v
level.
Gal. And like Sonny
Bill's
gets some
such
time
a
to
draw.
sharpen his
fucking
tools.
oath.
He's such a draw.
They've been building it up for
People are
years.
obsessed with Sonny Bill, and rightly so.
And he's training. Sonny's in the gym.
He's become a full-time boxer now. That's what he's doing now. So I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So maybe Gallen's going, you know what? I'm going to go for the biggest fucking dog.
and if I win,
If I win, I'm
Then
the
I'm-
heavyweight
then I'm the
fucking
sickest
champion of
fucking-
Australia.
legend.
Honestly,
if I don't,
biggest
then-
cock I've ever seen in my life if he wins.
But if he
Kickstand.
doesn't, he loses to the heavyweight champion of Australia as a former footballer, and no one really
He
gives
goes,
a fuck.
oh, I was literally playing rugby league a couple of years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, sorry, I lost to one of the best talents we've ever seen in boxing in the heavyweight division for Australia. Apologies for that.
Big money, honey.
So yeah, look, now it makes sense, but it's like the kahunas on the man. But I hope he wins. I hope Gallen wins.
Of
Now
course.
on to DC to Rabbitohs. That's going to happen, so we don't even need to talk about it.
you.
Could you imagine? Like,
Life's too
in
short
all
to
seriousness, when I saw this report, I was like, "What the fuck are we even talking about?"
Yeah.
Like they literally signed him on a 10-year deal. Not made him. He chose to backflip. Like he sacrificed so much public, public goodwill.
Yeah.
And then like they're going to come to him now and be like, "Oh, see you, bro."
Do you want to fucking piss off so that we can save some capital?
just
Also,
doesn't make
Who
sense,
the fuck
though.
are we going to sign? Who's going in his place? He's still an elite halfback, but also from South's perspective, it doesn't make sense.
Makes
Because
zero
why
sense.
would you let Adam Reynolds go and then take DCE, who's going to want some fucking cash?
100%. Well,
Unless
no, maybe
Manly's still paying
exactly.
for
Maybe
that.
they go, look, we'll pay 400. You pay 600 or whatever. give him a 3-year deal. But
are you implying here that Manly are saying to DCE, you've got to go?
No,
They haven't said.
they haven't.
Because DCE is not going to get more money than he's he's
No
on
way.
the most money he will possibly ever get.
But he might be able to get.
Until he's old too.
What
He'll be
you
like
do
34.
is no, but he goes to another club and the club pays it less.
can pay
pay like
half.
700 grand and Manly pays the rest because Manly's trying to ease. The argument is that Manly's trying to ease salary cap pressure.
But if they are trying to ease salary cap pressure, right, and by still in doing so, still paying half or
But
500
you're still
grand.
you'd be your 700 grand freed up. Say,
Let's say.
Yeah, but then you got to sign a half, so you can't fucking sign anyone.
well, you probably sign a loser.
But it just sort of becomes a little bit
Oh,
counterintuitive. You know
but
what I mean?
I think it's the issue.
We've backed ourselves into that corner. If the media is to be believed.
But why did it come out? You know what I mean? Like, I just think that clearly someone at Manly has said something.
What do you mean? I think the journos go.
Just made it up.
This is interesting.
You reckon?
Why not?
Fuck, the way we usually see these stories is exactly the way it's happening.
Smoke this fire.
Yeah,
Every story there's smoke, there's fire. You reckon?
Whenever this kind of stuff happens, like even DCE said, I've been around long enough to know, and I'm nervous.
Yeah.
He literally said that.
But then Des said, "Don't worry, bruz, we got you."
Yeah, but this happened. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but this is the way it happens. They put it out into the ether, see if anyone's interested at any other clubs. They go, yeah, we'll pay 700K for him, or we'll pay 800K for him, and then they go, look, DC, can you leave? We'll put in 200K, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah. If he
it's
goes, I'll only be happy if he goes to the Broncos. Otherwise, I'll fucking burn down NRL HQ.
He'd be great for the Broncos, to be honest, but I don't think he's leaving.
Isn't he on 1.1?
Something. I think.
I thought.
I think
So
it's like
even if you're
1.2.
paying 800, you're still paying 300 for him.
Dude,
Like,
but
tipping
you're
in.
saving fucking 800
You're saving
grand.
so much
That
money.
is...
800's
not-
getting you 2 young halves.
Yeah, or some fucking hot back rower and some, half.
No, I understand all
Or you
that.
bring in
All
a
I'm saying is he's on so much money that if you want a decent half yourself,
You wouldn't be going, let's get rid of DCA and
you'd
buy
have to
Mitchell
get
Moses.
a junior.
I see that as being their thing. They'd be trying to they've either got someone coming through, or we sign Luke Brooks and we never watch the game again.
But you know what? Like, maybe they're sitting there going, Tom Trbojevic is so fucking good that...
Put the 7 on him?
No, yeah. You know what? He'd probably fucking kill it.
rip.
But maybe they're thinking, you know what? Tom's so good that we can put an average half with him and we'll get wins. Whereas when Tom's not there, we, are not good at all.
We're completely fucked.
But DCE is still there and we're still struggling. Do you know what I mean? So maybe from their perspective, they're like, look, DCE is a great half, but clearly without Tom, he can't do anything.
Yeah.
So we need to get someone else. We may as well put someone else there because Tom's the real guy that's given us these points. Maybe. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but maybe that's what they're looking at right now.
Maybe Denon's leaking this shit to the media.
Maybe.
I called Danny Wadler.
I'm starting to think that Denon's
I was the same guy that called. I pretended to be Ricky. And I was like,
It wouldn't shock me.
That wouldn't shock me, dude. He's trying to fuck us over. You know what I mean? Trying to sow seeds.
the only person that's fucking us over is the boy band syndrome we currently have.
He couldn't bear to see us get 3 straight wins.
No.
Could he? He's
couldn't
like,
handle it.
fuck this, what I'm going to do about it? I'm going to
gonna
go
have
real
to-
dark and sinister.
All right, Rabbitohs v Storm, massive game, the rematch. They obviously lost in the first one, the Rabbitohs did, but Grant v Cook, great matchup. No Reynolds, but halves pairing is Walker and Benji with Johnson at the back there. Burns returns from injury. Murray is out, but Gyro comes in. So, I think this is evidence of fucking how good Rabbitohs recruitment was. But Storm have been fucking red hot, and Grant is unbelievable.
Yeah. They're ripping and tearing the Storm.
No Latrell either.
No Trell.
No Trell. I think with this one, it seems kind of tough, right? Souths have been good, but Souths, ever since you go back to the Tigers game, it's like I feel like Souths have had a loss coming, and they almost lose to a side like the Tigers. Then the Raiders was close for most of the game.
Yep.
I feel like they're coming up against a team that's
Titans they came over the top of.
Titans they came over the top of. They're coming up against a team that's hot and ready to fuck, and they've got injuries. I just feel like this is the time they're going to lose.
That's the thing with the Rabbitohs, though. This could be... Because Wayne has come out last week after the game and said that was shit. So, this could be their bounce back game. You know what I mean? They're so unpredictable.
Yes.
So this could, yes, they didn't lose and they won not convincingly. So this could be the game where they begin to pull it together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In reaction to the fact they haven't been
You
playing
see
well.
it in the premiership years of teams where it's like they win games they shouldn't win,
Yeah.
and then they kick when they need to kick.
Yep, absolutely.
I feel like, though, they've got too many injuries, and the Storm,
They're
as you
looking
said,
so
they're
good.
looking hot. Harry Grant.
And their record against the Storm is not good.
No, it's not. And I just think Harry Grant, Storm didn't have Harry Grant last time. Fuck, now they
Harry
got
Grant is so good.
big,
You're
thick boy.
saying Cook v Grant. It's almost 1 and 2 hookers in the game, and I don't know who's 1 or 2.
I think Grant is more devastating
I think like
when he's on.
they're very different. They're very different, and you're good with either. You're good with either. But when you just look at Grant's like constant impact over the last 3 or 4, he had 2 or 3 tries this last game in 70 minutes as a hooker.
Look what he did to us in Game 3 last year.
Yeah, that was pretty
That I've
incredible.
never got over.
Yeah, I know. That was hot.
On the biggest stage.
Yeah,
It was
literally
good.
came out and changed the whole momentum of the
Yeah.
game. Like you were still in it. He comes out and
Made
he
me
was
fucking
fucking.
sick, and it still does. But I tell you what, that Benji Marshall, like,
Rich vein of form for an elderly man.
yeah. What is he? 36, 37?
38.
36.
That cutout nut he threw last
Oh,
week was
great nut.
fucking.
And he did one the week before
Gorgeous.
as well, like his cutouts on the
Dude,
right
I
to
just
left,
love
where
a
you're like,
cutout
"Ooh."
nut.
And it's just singing.
Yeah.
And there's no wobble or anything. It's
Nah,
just
fuck all
And the
wobble.
winger hitting it at like the perfect fucking pace, like he's timed his run to perfection.
Yeah, but I almost think the winger was just Benji fucking knew. You know what I mean?
That's what
It's
I
all
mean, though.
nut.
Benji's
Yeah.
just put it on his fucking chest.
if there's
Gorgeous
anyone
stuff.
that's good at putting nut on chest, it's Benji.
Oh yeah,
And
mate, he's made
Gallen.
a career out of it.
Nutting on chest is his forte.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
No better nutter on chest in the world
No.
than Benji Marshall.
Absolutely.
And he's
not.
been nutting on chest for a fucking while now.
But he also,
Well, for what,
yeah, but
six-
you know what? He hasn't.
What, 9, 18 years?
You know
You know
what?
what? He's only just recently been
Ranga?
able to drop a huge load, though, because he's been playing with the Tigers and the Dragons, and so, like, his nuts haven't been
You
anything
know what?
of
Tigers
consequence.
may not like nut on the chest.
No, they
That's-
were. He used to unload big seeds for a young man, and then something, a bit of erectile dysfunction.
That's what it was.
And
He's
then-
playing with a team that didn't allow him to get hard.
And he did go to Union for a few years. Oh, sorry, for a
games.
few
a
games.
few games. That's how flaccid he was.
That was, yeah.
So maybe he's had time to build up, his nut
His
giving game.
his reserves.
If anyone deserves another premiership, it's Benji Marshall.
Oh,
yeah,
the amount of
nutting
nut-
on chest, fan.
mate, the amount of nut he's put on chest, he deserves a premiership.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He turns around and go, bro, I've coded the lot of you. Give me another ring.
How many young boys do I have to nut on their chest
To get another fucking
to
ring.
get a premiership?
What do I have to do?
I've been nutting on young hot boys' chests for fucking years, getting released from fucking
Getting sacked for it.
yeah, nutting and getting
Yeah,
sacked.
that was the worst part.
Yeah,
That I got
exactly.
stood down for it.
Yeah. Now finally he's at a club that appreciates a man that
okay,
nuts
yeah,
on the
good
chest
nut,
of other
good
guys.
Last time I checked in rugby league, it was a good thing to nut on a chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wayne supports that sort of part.
Wayne's pro nutting on chest.
So one of the great nutters on chest,
Yeah.
and it's
Storm to win.
I'm going to go Storm.
Still will win.
Storm will win. On to the Panthers v the Sharks. Look, mate, honestly, the Sharks are I cannot fathom how let down they've been by just because John didn't have a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I know, right? One
Mate,
PowerPoint
like-
can fuck a whole season, apparently.
Well, more than that. Livelihood. You know what I mean? Like, how would you be getting out of the bed in the morning if you were a Sharks player? No offense. But, like, their season is in tatters over star wipes.
Literally star wipes. It's to think that your lot, like everything you've ever worked for, was not hinging on a star wipe.
Well,
And that's
now
what
you
happened.
know.
Yeah, but, there is also a part of me that thinks that it shows the importance of a good PowerPoint. Whilst it seems fickle and inconsequential, I'm actually almost with the Sharks on this. And if John Morris isn't up to it, then fucking bring in Josh. We all know Josh can't fucking star wipe to save his life, but that's the point. He's not meant to. Now, when they come up against the Panthers, who Ivan Cleary fucking king of the star wipe, some say, they're going to get pumped.
Ivan
beyond
Cleary's
belief.
PowerPoint's so good, he got fired and got rehired.
Because they were like, fuck, we saw what else was out there.
Sometimes the grass isn't greener in the PowerPoint game.
No, it's definitely not.
No, exactly. During that, they thought they got too cocky. They got on their high horse under Phil. No offense to Phil, but Phil thought there was better star wipes out there.
Yep.
The fact was there wasn't.
Well, that's why they sacked bloody Hook in the finals. They were like, this is fucking diabolical shit. We thought it was going to be good. It wasn't good. Get him the fuck out of here.
Is there an
right
alternative to PowerPoint? Maybe Hook was using an alternative and they were just going,
there's flashy new startup
There's like
ventures.
There's like Apple ones as well.
No,
Some,
there's
like,
new
weird
ones that are
fucking-
very over the top, but I mean,
Maybe
you end up
they-
getting lost.
Yeah. Maybe they got lost
You
in
missed the
that.
content.
Canva? Could have been a
No.
Canva operator.
No, I don't think
I'll
so.
hear no slander on Canva. It's fucking literally
is
my whole
actually
career.
good.
Canva's also
Yeah,
not what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. That was a miss. But whatever. We'll
Isn't
keep going.
Canva similar to PowerPoint?
Not even close.
Not even close. Do you know what Canva is?
It's
I use
It's
Canva.
like Photoshop.
You use Canva and
like-
you don't know what it is.
What do you mean? But hold on. Stop the show. Stop the
Were
fucking
you
show.
too busy thinking about nutting on chess or what?
I'm always thinking of that. Canva, you can make PowerPoints the same way you do on the fucking... You make presentations. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Do you mean slideshow? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
talking about. Can you
Yeah.
the whole presentation?
Yeah. Fucking oath you can.
You've done that.
Yeah,
When
bruh.
have you done a slideshow?
When I was making a fucking... a media kit...
That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about a
but
presentation.
You can turn it into a video presentation. You can export as an MP3.
MP4.
Sorry, whatever, MP4, thank you. MP4, or you can export as a PDF. Check it. Do your own research. That ain't on me. But I will take my licks. But I
You know what?
Right.
Even if it's true, that just proves our point. Do you want to listen to the guy that's, exporting audio files?
They go out.
They're going to like,
out.
Trust me, dude.
I've got this MP3
if
for you.
you saw what I'd done on Canva, you would sack me on the spot.
I've seen his media
I'm
kits.
fucking
I've seen his media kits.
horrendous at Canva, but I know what they
He
can
sends
do.
them with like a. I
send them with a
it's shit.
caveat.
I know it's shit, but
There you go.
Is the information right?
Yeah, at
I
least
know it's
just like-
awful.
yeah, this
May
is
as well
the worst thing
mail
I've
the
ever seen.
fucking drawing.
You know what? That would actually be better, like Seabold did.
No, you know what? Seabold's got the strongest fucking PowerPoint in the game.
Yeah.
He
To
tricks some people.
get rid of Wayne Bennett.
5 year with a one-year option.
Yeah, but I'm thinking he went to like a Fiverr or one of those like Upwork online. He got someone else to do it because clearly he like hoodwinked people. He went, look at how good I am.
No. Someone else.
He's whoever did it deserves a fucking raise.
Whoever did it is a fucking elite NRL coach, and they don't know it yet.
Exactly. Some guy in India.
Some guy in India is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Well, maybe it was Ivan.
Well, it could have been. I don't
You know
know.
Just wanted to
If anyone's
dismantle.
still following this,
Yeah, I don't know.
It
Are
could
you?
be-
Probably not. Have you fast forwarded? Sure.
Panthers.
Panthers will win.
Fucking oath they'll win. They're going to win well, though. Like, I can't see... The Sharks, as we
13
said
plus.
when we started, the Sharks have been given an excuse to just play like shit or to just, like... I don't know. They just don't... They've lost it. They weren't terrible at the start of the year. Now they're, like, not good at all.
Well, they started the match really well last week, but then they just were like, they didn't... You know what I mean? It was just like, fuck it.
Well, you need to play for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
They didn't
absolutely.
play for 80.
They didn't play for 80, and that's... I
Well,
mean,
we only played for 60 and we won. I mean, that's the power of the Broncos. Gordon Tallis. But you're right.
mate, the
They don't have Gordon Tallis to,
They don't have Gordon
infuse them.
Tallis to infuse
fair enough.
I don't know if the Sharks will win many games.
Honestly, I think that
Unfortunately.
it could
Which
start
is a bit of a,
spiraling.
like, yeah, that's
it's
what I
sad. It's fucking it's unfair.
It's terrible.
Unfair to the members. It's unfair to the players. The fact that even if Morris, I said this on the podcast earlier in the week, even if Morris came out and won the GF, you just go, you know what? We still made the decision with Fitzgibbon. That's the direction we're going. If it doesn't work out, it's my fault. Do you know, that's what I don't get.
But why couldn't you just turn around if you'd won the grand fucking final and go, oi, Fitzgibbon,
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
beat it?
Or let's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's
also- but also,
100%.
like-
What's it like? Who gives a shit? I would have been like, sign Fitzgibbon, but like also,
If we win the GF, then we'll
put something in there. Put a little caveat in the contract that if that he in the really fine print
But
that he
that's
wouldn't
what's-
read that if Morris goes half fucking good
In
then
tiny
you're out.
writing, it says, wins GF, you're fired.
and will not be paid.
But like, what I don't understand is like, why wasn't there we're a bunch of morons. Yet we're having this conversation of like outcomes. Like what can happen if Morris wins? What can happen if we keep him playing? Like how does it look? Does it look? So what I don't get is like, why didn't they sit around the board and go, boys, like, okay, we can sack Morris now and it will save our face so that we can guarantee that he won't go on and kill it and we look bad. But then surely someone would have piped up and been like, yeah, but how good is he going to go? Like top 6, okay, great. We still bring Fitzgibbon in. Like it's not going to be more of a public backlash if Morris finished top 8 again. That's the same position he was in last year, and you still didn't re-sign him. You know what I mean? So it's like what's the difference?
The fact that we're talking about it, I found when I finished school and I went into the workforce, one of the earliest realizations that I had was that no one, like the amount of incompetence in the world in people that are like meant to be your higher ups or this or that in jobs, you're like, oh my God, dude, there are so many people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just sort of talk like they know what they're doing.
Yep.
And I feel like that could very easily, I'm not saying it is, but it could very easily be the case where it's like these guys are just sort of fucking going for it. They don't really know what the fuck they're doing, and they've got themselves into a situation. It actually happens quite frequently when you see, not to bring it back to your club, but the Broncos, biggest fucking sporting team in the country, and now they're a pile of shit. There is incompetence somewhere in there that has led to that.
No, it's true.
happening.
It's true. It's totally true. It's just crazy to think that. Think about like what you were willing to put on the line to save face. You know what I mean? You were willing to you're putting a whole season on the line so that you don't have a few fans going, why didn't we re-sign John Morris? You know,
Which
like
is just
crazy.
madness. 'Cause
Unless
people
there's
are
something
saying
else.
it now.
Yeah, unless there's something else going on. You know,
Yeah.
unless there's something else going on, and if that is, I apologise and we're wrong and whatever. But it's great.
But if there is something else going on, wouldn't mind getting told.
yeah, exactly as a Canelo fight. Yeah,
Based
100%.
based on John's reaction, he probably would have liked to be told.
Told
as
too.
well.
as well.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. Panthers probably 13 plus though.
Yeah, I think so.
Kick it, they're going to kick the shark while they're down.
Yeah.
Eels v the Roosters. Look, this is a chance for Eels to take a step closer to a premiership. Tedesco returns though. Verrills is out with a semi-detached retina, but it's only about 3 to 4
I
weeks.
thought you were just going to say with a semi. I was like, what? Why is he out for that?
He's out with a semi.
What is that?
Semi-detached retina. I don't know.
Can you-
I think,
is
That's
it
the
hard
back
to
of the
see?
eyeball.
No, I know.
I
but
think
like,
it
what's the-
does hurt vision a little bit. I think what I read, but it's very like vague what the NRL physio
I
said.
mean, it's semi-detached.
Do
I think
they
it
have to
fucking makes
detach
sense.
it? I mean, do they have to reattach it, or does it just reattach?
I think they got to
itself?
reattach it.
Oh, they got to reattach
Yep.
it.
I'll get it up.
I'd be like, get my fucking retina back.
Yeah.
Up and running.
Fuck footy.
Immediately,
I'm
bro.
looking for a
Fuck
retina.
footy, bro.
Attach my retina immediately.
Immediately.
Lachlan Lamb extended bench. That's nice to see that he's back. Eddie, what was the stat that you had? I think you had it on about was it that we're being hoodwinked by the Eels as a rugby league community?
If you look at the top 8 now, right, as it exists, the Eels have only played one top 8 side this year.
Okay, they did win though.
Storm, that they won round 2, and it was a good game, and they did well. What I'm saying is, I don't think we've got a real sense for the Eels yet.
Yep. That's
One
fair.
game out of current top 8 teams this season so far. Like, this will be a test.
An important
This will be
caveat
interesting.
is to note that we hate the Eels. So take that with
No,
a grain of salt.
that's
That's a
just,
fair-
that was
it's
a
fair.
fucking, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
They
but we
played the
also
Broncos.
hate
They
Eels.
played. They fucking played. They played
Broncos, Dragons,
Broncos
Tigers.
twice.
Bulldogs,
Cowboys, Bulldogs,
Raiders.
Raiders. They lost to St George.
Yep. That's a fair point.
You know what I mean?
This'll, you know who has just the Roosters have shown they're so much more than a couple of superstars.
Yeah.
The fact that they went out and towed the Knights up without Tedesco, Friend, Cordner, who else? Who else was out? They had they got a fucking bunch of people out.
Yeah.
And they like it was a toweling.
Yes.
It's incredible what they managed.
It also shows that it's not just a couple of superstars because they got like fucking 10 other superstars in their side. But I know what you mean. They shouldn't. But that's also why I'm tipping the Roosters in this game. The last 5 times I've played, I think the Roosters have done them 13 plus. Now, obviously, they haven't had this level of an injury toll like they've got now, the Roosters. But like, they have the ability to bring in these players like your Sam Walkers, who is
5
thriving.
was that
Five
a
try
I think it was a
assists?
record.
Well, Foxley recorded 5. Foxley have their own statistics, and NRL have different statistics. So they recorded 5 try assists, but one of his try assists that they counted, I'm pretty sure, was the one where Daniel Tupou knocked it back in.
Oh, so he threw it out to Tupou.
He threw it to Tupou, and
down.
he knocked it back in.
So that was them. Just
So
on
it's
the head.
generous, very generous, but who cares? Like, I sound like a fucking idiot. Who cares? He killed it. 4 try
But I
assists
know what you
officially.
mean. Well, exactly, right? Like, and then Tedesco comes back.
Yep.
It's like they just still seem. You've got
Tupou ran for 270 meters. Like,
that's
it's
it.
so good.
Crichton has absolutely gone to another level
100%.
as like an elite back rower. In
Well,
the
he's
game.
taken he's like, Boyd's out. He's
Yep.
like, bro, I'll put the 11 on and I'll fucking lead the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I
100%.
mean?
100%.
He's ripping and tearing. mate.
Ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
Consistently fucking so good.
Yeah.
He's the best back row on the comp at the moment. in
And
my
it's
opinion.
like his defense has been
Billy
huge
Army
as
kick
well.
out or him.
Like his defense has been massive.
Yeah.
He was often a bit more like of a running back rower, you know, but it's like he's actually in there just pumping dudes as
And
well.
he's just so consistently good, you know, like every touch is quality.
Yeah.
All his tackles are quality. And then gets Tilly just raging on the other side. Both of them, like they had one missed tackle between the both of them. They had 64 tackles all up, and between the both of them only missed one tackle. Like to think that both attacking edge rowers, back rowers, could have such good attack and such good defense. It's fucking. You only see that at the Roosters and the Storm. Usually, you're like, you know, at other clubs, it's like, oh, really good attacker, but he missed 3 tackles or whatever. So it's fucking incredible. But you know, saying all that, I'm going to go Eels for the upset.
I've gone Roosters. I think Roosters will win.
Yeah, I've gone Roosters 13 plus at $6.
I think it'll be a fucking great game.
$6 for
Cracker game.
13 plus is.
Do you think Suwali will play this year? Or do you reckon they'll just
He'll
rest
play
him?
this year, but he won't play this game, I don't think.
When the fuck is the right time to play him?
Well,
When it's a
they've-
game where they're just going to pump.
But you've still
someone,
got Joseph Manu, and you still
or-
got
Oh, that's right, because Manu
go
Tedesco
back,
comes back.
and then you got
Yeah.
Josh Morris on the other centre.
Jesus
No, but
Christ,
that's
yeah.
why I'm like, do you
Yeah.
think it'll only be like excessive injury that'll get him in there?
Or
Or do you reckon
origin
they'll
period.
actually blood him?
Origin period, maybe.
Origin period,
Yeah,
probably.
that's a good point.
Joey will go back to Joey will go to fullback,
And then Tedesco play, yeah.
Tedesco will be in Origin, and I think that's when they'll get Suwali in there, especially with BMOS out. So because Josh Morris,
Do you reckon BMOS is retired? Fuck, that was horrible.
Oh man, I mean, it's such a long way back at that
Yeah.
age too.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really need to do that? Like when you've got time now to set your life up after. You're still getting paid. You're not playing footy. You know, the Roosters will probably like just come in. If he does retire, he's still going to get all his pay, and they'll probably like, look, just come in for rehab and then do whatever you want. So he's pretty much got the next year to set himself up. Whereas if he tries to rehab and come back, he comes back and he's going to be on minimum, which would be about 150K.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, I mean, if he does, it'll be such an incredible story, like at this, age of his career.
34?
34, yeah.
Greatest ringer of all time, in my opinion.
A lot of people saying that.
He's
the best I've seen.
He's one of the greatest. I'd probably still have Dell ahead of him. But when you're looking at career, you'd put BMOS probably.
Dell throbbed when I was a young'un, and so I feel like I've got more of a bias to BMOS. Even though like you knew Dell was sick, and he went to the Wallaby, like to rugby.
Well,
and
I've
he
got
killed
more
it.
like Dell was more a Wallaby in my mind somehow. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause I think it might
because
because on the Broncos.
That's
as well.
what
yeah,
I mean.
yeah, but yeah, BMOS.
Anyway,
shout out.
I'm going
fucking
Eels.
devastated.
1 to 12, Eels.
No.
No. Raiders, Knights. This is an interesting game.
Yeah, it is. Now, if Ricky hasn't bashed his entire team before the game, then I think the Raiders are in with a shot, but they are a team in turmoil.
I've backed him every week, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. You know what I
You
mean?
can be like, I did it. Fuck you.
Well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't, then who am I? Like, I gotta back him.
You love the milk, don't you?
I like the milk. I've got a soft spot for the milk. I really do. I haven't been that impressed with the Knights at all. I really haven't been.
I spoke about this on the podcast earlier in the week. My biggest worry now for the Knights is if they continue like this, they're going to lose Ponga, because Ponga has a 2-year option in his favour that he has to, agree to next year.
What's his current contract look like?
It's till the 2 years. So he's got this year, next year,
Yeah.
and then the next 2 years, 3 and 23 and 24, are in his favour. So he can choose not to exercise that, or he can choose to exercise it.
Shit.
So if you're Kalen Ponga and the Knights continue to just go backwards,
Well, why do you reckon the options are there
Yeah,
Exactly.
for this eventuation?
this eventuation.
Is Adam O'Brien not getting the boys up and about?
I don't know, man. I don't know, because like O'Brien comes from good ilk. He's from the Storm. He's from the Roosters. He gets it. But I think it's about more than just results this year for the Knights. It's actually about the club in the next 10 years going forward. Because if they lose Ponga, they are fucked as a club. Think about it. Everyone would just leave.
Well, man, he brings cattle. Fuck yeah.
He's the draw.
He's the draw. He's the
a
reason.
fucking draw. He's a huge draw.
And so, like, if they struggle, and I hope they don't, because I would love to see Ponga win a premiership at Newcastle. I
Yeah.
think that would be so
The Knights
fucking good
humming
for
as
footy.
a team
Oh
is a good
God.
rugby league vibe.
Isn't that what they say?
Mate, 100%.
Newcastle's good for the game.
Fucking oath they are.
I don't know if you made that up or if they said
Yeah.
it, but they
They
should
fucking
say.
Well,
should.
they do now.
But they've
Yeah.
got a good team.
I know.
Like, they've got a top 8 side.
You know, obviously losing Mitchell Pearce is a massive out for them.
Sure.
I think the biggest problem is that they don't have any out and out halves like depth-wise. You know,
Have they signed Pearce next year?
I think he's got one more year. Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
re-signed him.
right. Well, 1 year contract.
Yeah, on a 1 year contract.
Yeah, right.
But
I
they-
was just thinking maybe you go to Reynolds.
Desperately need.
Get Reynolds.
They desperately need
Pearce
someone.
for another year, so it'd be a bit tough.
But you could play him 6 and 7.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, 6 and 7 could work. Mitchell Pearce could be a good 6, and Reynolds at 7. But they desperately need another half. Like, it's just they've got Brayley, who's gun. You know, Kurt Mann is a fucking great footy player, but he's just not really a 6. Just he's such a fuck. I mean, you put him in the centres or on the wing, even like fullback when Ponga's not there. You know, you could even put him at 13 sometimes. You could rotate him with Connor Watson. He's a fucking great player. But yeah, the Knights. I'm really worried for the Knights because, as I said, Ponga's the key. They're not winning a premiership in the next 5 years if Ponga's not there. And it could go backwards real quick. They've scraped and clawed from bottom of the so far bottom of the table to like mid-table last year. To think that they could go backwards, so I think they've all got questions to ask themselves, like, what club do we want to be? Like, we can kick on and make that 8, and then keep kicking on.
Is O'Brien the right coach for them?
I think he is. When you look at like who else is out there, really.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No,
you.
I think he is. I think because he's managed to get Frizzell there. I think Clemmer.
He'd certainly got Frizzell there.
You know, so and he got Ponga to extend. So
Yeah.
it's interesting times. I do think the Raiders are going to win though because they.
Yes.
You know, I think Ricky's going to fire them fucking
gonna beat
right.
the fuck out.
Raiders 1-12.
I'm going
I
Knights
think so.
here. Phoenix Crossland, a great omen because that's a great rugby league.
Great
name.
rugby league
That's
name.
one of the great. That is actually in the fucking top 5 probably greatest rugby league names I've ever read.
Have you seen the Rocco Berry from
Rocco Berry?
That is fucking incredible.
Rocco Berry and Phoenix Crossland, get the fuck out of here. Someone sent us a message saying if there isn't a rugby league player called Cadence in the next sort of
With a
5 to
K.
10 years,
With a K.
Cadence with a K, then
Is that the greatest rugby league name?
That'd be the greatest
Guarantee
rugby league of all
immortal.
time.
I've already told him if he has a son,
Name
it should
Cadence.
be Cadence Birmingham.
Cadence. Cadence
Are you
Birmingham.
kidding me? That's a fucking sick
Cadence
name.
Birmingham.
You gotta talk Steph around. I reckon that's all time.
I'll try.
Cadence Birmingham? Like, holy shit.
It is a great name. It does roll off the tongue.
fucking oath it does.
Kaydents.
Could you imagine if
Mate, your kid would be a threat. There's a chance you play for New South Wales if you make the right decisions.
I'm not ruling it out. I've certainly
Don't
put it in
rule
the
it
maybe
out.
pile.
Rule it in.
It's in the maybe pile.
Cadence Birmingham down the sideline.
Fucking oath.
Cadence.
Trained by Roger Fabri, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, out of the womb too. Maybe even in the womb. Maybe read stories to the kid.
Yeah, I'd get him to dance and shit.
Is
and
Roger
like-
doing any in the womb stuff at the moment?
Is he training any fetuses? Do we know that?
I've heard. There has been whispers that fetuses have been trained
Fetuses
by Roger.
have been
Whispers
trained.
only. There's nothing can be confirmed due to the fact that it's a fetus. But
And yeah, there's like medical records.
yeah,
and
absolutely.
privacy
No
and
one
shit.
wants to admit that their fetus is getting sprint training.
No.
No,
It's like
it's
cheating.
I mean,
But it's a
competition.
giveaway when they come out of the womb, they know how to use blocks.
It's basically like steroids.
They're in spots.
It's basically like steroids. You may as well have steroids. Give your kids steroids
Give
if
your
you're
kids
doing
steroids.
that.
Fetal training, I think, banned by.
It is. It has
WADA.
actually been
And
banned.
Banned
Wada.
by WADA and FINA and all of the major
Yeah.
bodies. But I'm saying, like, there's no way of proving it's happening.
But if there's a
It's hard to
man,
prove.
very hard to prove. But if they do come out and they get straight into the 3-point start position,
Yeah.
Roger's been there.
Yeah, Roger's definitely been there. If they come
Yeah.
out dancing and deadlifting and a 3-point start,
And a pair of skins, wearing a pair of long
Yeah.
skins.
wearing a
Yeah.
Roger Fabri
Bo-
Academy fucking hoodie.
Body
Roger's been
science
there.
ones?
Body science skins,
Yeah.
3-point start, and they've just come out of the womb. Like if he they're on the bed and the wife is like, "Oh fuck, I'm having a kid,"
yeah.
and then it gets out, rolls onto its front, and 3-point starts, and sprints out with the umbilical cord still on.
Yeah. Drags a placenta out and shit.
Roger's been there.
Roger's been there.
No, he's
And that-
been there.
That kid is.
Roger was
going
actually the
Olympics.
doctor that delivered it.
The midwife or a doula, actually, for those of you that have had kids, which is just like a fucking someone that you miss who wants to be in there as like support because you're not good enough.
Well, Roger can fill that void.
I'd love Roger Fabri to be our doula. That'd be fucking dope.
Roger.
Could you imagine?
Roger is a doula. Fucking hell. Love that.
hell.
Anyway,
something to
name your
think
kid
about.
Cadence.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
name a kid.
going to do it.
Don't be
Knights,
pussy.
Knights 1 to 12.
Don't be
anytime.
cat. Name your kid.
Name your
Cadence.
kid
Raiders
Cadence.
1-12.
Raiders 1-12. Tigers v the Titans are such an
Thrilling.
important fucking game.
Yeah.
For both fucking clubs. Both if the Titans get beaten by
Well,
the
Tigers
Tigers,
got their tails up.
Yeah, but they're
but they need another win to get some. Tino's a huge in. He's so
he
fucking
is.
good for them. They really missed him last week. Tigers, how good was Cini with the strawberry blonde down the fucking
Love
sideline?
that.
Do you see all the boys?
Oh, the boys are up.
Fucking up
and
foaming.
about.
They were
Fucking love
fucking
that
got their
shit.
boys up and about.
Fuck, I like that.
Yeah.
They did the slow-mo as well.
Oh, I mean,
that.
imagine the yarns in 10 years' time about their boy Cini going over
Getting
the fucking
over.
corner.
Yeah.
And his brother, I saw a video of his brother who's like a huge Tigers fan as well, like just fucking
Loves the club.
overwhelmed at the end of the game, seeing his brother there rip for the Tigers. That was great. That was the best part of the game, was old Cini out there.
Cini and Dane Laurie choosing to run it straight out of his fucking in-goal area.
Carmichael Hunt style.
That was fucking brave as
That
shit.
was good, wasn't it?
But loving Cini, already a cult hero out of the Tigers, bringing the attitude, bringing the... Sometimes you just need a good Ranga or strawberry blonde to lift the boys, and I feel he can do that.
Definitely. I think that a strawberry blonde should still just fall under the Ranga category. I don't think you
reckon?
even need to.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think you
think
need to
I think
even.
strawberry blonde can have its own category.
No, I don't think so.
Too many syllables, dude. Just Ranga.
But I mean,
You're
there
going
is...
to be like, oh, the strawberry blondes did well
Because
this
that's
week.
what,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
there's-
Rangas do. Rangas go, I'm not red, I'm strawberry blonde. You go, nah, dude, same thing.
Nah, but like there's Corey Horsburgh, who is a classic Ranga, red
yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's pure. Purebred Ranga.
Yeah, he's pure. So you're saying that he just gets lumped in with strawberry blonde? Like, you know how insulted Corey would be?
Ranga is the umbrella term
Yeah.
within it.
Yeah.
So there's like degrees of rank. It's a spectrum, right? Like he's
Yeah.
on the spectrum.
Where's he sit on the Ranga spectrum?
He's
Is
you've
he-
got Corey
is he-
Horsburgh or he's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Cini.
So we've got pure blood Horsburgh.
Yeah.
So where does Cini sit in the
Cini's
spectrum
on the
then?
lower end of the spectrum, but
Okay.
he's still a Ranga.
Yeah, very
See,
much. the
I
lower
would
end.
consider that strawberry blonde.
He is strawberry blonde on the
but
Ranga
in the Ranga
spectrum.
So like
Yeah.
1 to 10 with Horsburgh being pure blood.
Blood
there's
red.
like pure blood.
Yeah, blood red,
You
yeah.
take the blood out, you put it in DNA test, it's red all the way back to
All the way,
fucking...
yeah.
I mean, we're talking...
He's the
the
one where it's like
since the-
every
since
single
the
one of his
original
kids.
Redknapp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
original
single one of his kids is going to have red hair. Like no matter, whereas Cini might have like a really blonde hair.
Horsburgh
kid.
is red hair royalty.
Yeah, yeah.
You can literally trace him back to the original Redknapp.
Yeah, you can. Like it's direct bloodline.
Readiest, nuttiest.
Yeah.
Red is nothing. That was his great
That was his-
uncle.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no.
Readiest, nuttiest. Okay, so strawberry blonde. So do you feel that the more red you get, the more fire you get in your belly?
Yes, but the thing is that if you're a Ranga, like if Ranga strength is up here, your Brad Parkers, your
Yeah.
Horsburghs, even your Cinis, like day-to-day human beings are here. So if Cini's lower end of the spectrum, he starts here. That's
Okay.
where Ranga starts. And
Okay.
then as you get redder, it gets more intense, more emotional,
More fire, more passion.
fire, but also more just intrinsic strength.
Yeah, superpower almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
it
some
is.
ways it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Ape-like strength. That's how we've described Brad Parker in the past.
Yeah.
He actually did something really fucking strong on the weekend when he tackled, they offloaded, and then he used his back. That's how fucking strong he is.
Yeah.
He used his back to tackle someone.
You think we're joking when
Yeah.
we say he's as strong as an ant.
He's as strong as an ant, 50 times the body weight at a minimum.
Means he could comfortably bench 5,000 kilos.
I wonder what Horse was fucking benching then. Fuck me.
Oh, mate. It'd make you sick.
He wouldn't tell you.
No, he
He's sick.
wouldn't. He's humble. But-
Maybe Ricky's just going to sick Horsburgh on the boys.
Well, Ricky knows he has no fucking shot against Corey Horsburgh. Corey
Well,
will-
if you look in Denny Widler's, there's actually a little asterisk.
yeah,
will not fight Corey.
Will not fight Corey.
He said, except for Corey.
Yeah.
I'm willing to fight the fucking boys
Corey
they want to
will
fight,
beat
except
the
for Corey.
fuck out of him.
Keep going away from me.
Get Corey.
Corey, fuck away from me.
Corey trains in his own section on the field.
On a leash in case he gets up and fucking kills him.
Okay, Tigers v Titans. I'm going the Titans for the bounce back with Tino returning.
Tino is just such. Tino's a great player, but there's also just something about Tino. It's his name, it's his nickname. Like he's almost like he's also like a great brand. I know that sounds like really sort of lame, but there's just something about Tino where I'm like, I just like everything about him, and the fact he's a weapon as well is also good.
Good sort too.
Great sword as well. Firebrand, like he's got it all, and they were missing him.
They were missing him, absolutely. He may bring. Maybe he knows bikies as well. That could be the birth of the bikie connection.
I'd hazard a guess that Tino could find.
Stranger
a
things have
couple
been
of
happening.
bikies.
Stranger things have happened.
I'm going Titans 1 to 12.
Titans, yeah.
Yep.
All right, on to huge match of highest of qualities: Cowboys v Broncos.
Battle of the beaters.
That is not true because Gordon Tallis is pretty much the most alpha man in history, and he literally got inside 17 blokes on the
Gordon
weekend.
Tallis actually works for the Titans. I didn't want to say it, but he's actually working for the Titans.
Scored a whoopal. Scored a whoopal. And also the spirit that he developed at the Broncos, it haunts the halls. You don't just go, oh, I'm working there. You can't change the years that he won premierships and ragdolled people.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? You can't change a Tiger Stripes, if that's even a saying.
Certain, but you can a Bronco, and so he's gone to the Titans.
Yeah, but Kevy's back.
You can't even keep Gordon Tallis at your club.
Kevy's back. They're mates.
Yeah, they are. And Gordy's still like, yes, sorry, bro. I'm actually still
No.
so.
Kevy's like, mates, you never need any help because we're mates and we run premierships together.
Yeah.
I'll come back, get myself inside 17 blokes for you at half time. That's what he did.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kevy signs with the Titans. You know what I mean?
As an advisory,
Just
right?
fucking going, you know what? I'm going as well. Fuck
I do
this
both?
place.
Is
Can
that
I?
straight?
Not do both. He's just going. He's like, oh, Xavier's going. I'm fucking out of here as well. I'm going to be backs coach of the Titans. Get me the fuck out of this shithole.
Make a new Brisbane team.
There you go.
It's all right. Sometimes you can't see through the forest. We're just a step. You take another step and the clearing is there. Whereas you guys, you can only see what's there.
Well
The
said.
trees.
Well said.
Trees.
Yeah.
We can only see the trees.
Trees. Yeah, I mean, I made a mistake. You
You
know,
can't see the forest from the trees.
I made a
think that's what
mistake.
he's trying to
We all
say.
make mistakes.
Yeah. No, it was articulate.
I mean, I made a mistake.
that was well said.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
That was
apologies.
well said.
Apologies. I made a mistake. Hopefully, I won't do it again.
Hopefully.
You were caught in that one. I was like, yeah, he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying.
No. Trees, forests.
Honestly, I think I was just caught up with Gordon Tallis inside me, and I was raging in my
Yeah,
mind.
that can happen.
That
happens
two
to the
blokes
best of
are
us.
sitting there with fucking life is too short to be a Bronco shirts.
Yeah, we are. Which is why
Absolutely
everyone's
disgusting.
left and why Cabby's thinking about it.
Yeah.
I am going the Broncos for a famous victory, and the premiership run begins.
I was saying before, I actually don't know who the fuck will win this. I've got no clue whatsoever.
I do.
Is this in Townsville?
Yes.
Townsville then. I think Cowboys will win.
Yep.
No, Tyson
Cows won at
Gamble.
12.
Tyson Gamble's getting in people's faces. He's
I will
bringing that
say,
passion.
Tyson played all right.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise to Tyson because I called him Tyrese accidentally, but I think we were a little bit.
I think you were more harsh than
I
him.
was more
He actually
harsh,
said,
yeah.
I'm going to wait to see how he
Yeah,
goes.
I was more
So
harsh.
you were a bad person.
Hey,
He's not.
I just came out and said I'd like to officially apologise.
Yeah, but you're still a bad
which, you know, don't do very often. I actually hang my hat on not apologising.
And that's not often.
So, you know,
I think your
Tyson.
hate for the Broncos really did fucking cloud your judgment.
Yeah, well, he just played all right. He played all right. So shout out to Tyson.
You know what? He played eyes up footy.
He played eyes up, played fuck it footy. And
He played fuck it footy. He got in people's faces, and he brought a lot of
You
testosterone.
might have backed him into a corner. You know what I mean?
You
Heard
actually
what
probably
Tom
should be
said on
thanking
Bloke
him.
You know what?
and
Maybe he
said,
was
fuck it.
picturing your head. That's why I was fucking raging.
Look, if I ever bump into him, I will piss my pants. I would assume.
He's actually a pretty big boy. I think he's like 6'1".
Yeah, dude, he looks humongous.
No, good rig on him. Very good rig on
Yeah,
him.
yeah. When I saw him flex, I was like, oh, shit.
But you know what? All jokes aside, he was fucking really good.
Yeah, he was. And he brought like energy. He just
Fucking
brought
oath.
energy to the fucking
Bit of
side. He
mongrel.
was up and
Fuck.
about. He was reacting to shit. He was getting the boys up and about,
Fucking oath.
buoying the boys.
Yep.
Yeah, buoyed him well.
And like if he can keep doing this week in week out, but pick his moments, you don't want it. The last thing you want is a target on your back, especially like it's like if we're watching this young fella come through and he's getting up in people's faces, we're going, oh, Tunza, Tony Carroll, can you fucking sort that guy out when he's on the field? And maybe he loves that shit, and if he does, fucking let's go,
Sweet, yeah.
100%. But you just got to be aware of that because like Melbourne Storm and Roosters would absolutely be showing that on their video session, being like, oh, you see this guy?
Fuck him up.
I'm sure he's aware of that. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
he's a first grader. Gamble's
that
a first
stuff
grader.
happens. But
yeah.
what, so like if you're a bit, if like a player's a bit sort of like, hey, you going like the way he was, I guess, in the game, like he played well, but he was certainly more passionate, more emotional. Like when I think they had a turnover or something, he's up there flexing it in their face. Like so, an opposition team be like, look at this guy.
I think initially, you know, you just go, it's mad. He's got heaps of energy. Like I think most teams won't care about it now. But what I'm saying is, if it's a pattern that continues, it's like a target on your back. Then.
Yeah, right.
But you know, if he's delivering, then fucking keep the target on your back. Some people love that confrontation.
Yeah.
They love to get just amongst it. So maybe it's fucking great. Because the energy he brought was fucking great.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed. Like even if he's not fucking like, you know, he's not Sam Walker or whatever. But he's just bringing some energy, saying, boys, let's fucking go. Because we were just lacking that shit for so long. So gamble was good. It was a good gamble.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good gamble.
It was a great gamble.
Will the gamble pay off long term?
The Broncos 15 plus.
15 plus.
15 plus.
I actually like this 15 plus Broncos thing. Fucking Dribbler's been getting behind us, sending us in the DMs.
It's
Broncos
utter
15
dribble.
plus.
It's utter dribble.
You've been too upped. You've been too upped. What's better than 13 plus? 15 plus.
15 plus.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys 1 to 12.
16 plus.
You just be getting DMs going up to infinity.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19 plus.
Manly v the Warriors. Warriors looking fantastic last week, really building momentum.
Holy
for a
fuck! I didn't
huge
realise that
performance.
Tapau and Aloiai 12 weeks.
Well, Aloiai 12 weeks?
What the fuck? How did I miss that?
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
What happened?
That's massive.
Bro, he's been our best forward for a couple of weeks.
Fucking oath he has. Tapau was huge for you last week.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, bruz. You're watching me melt down on fucking... I didn't know that.
Sully
Obviously
playing
we
on the
still
bench.
win.
That's interesting. Morgan
What?
Harper is so good.
Yeah. But he is good.
I
But
love
also,
Morgan.
Sully,
Oh.
But don't you reckon Sully's big enough to be a back rower?
Yeah, but it's all about match fitness and also lateral movement. When it comes in the middle, there's so much. It's complex, you know.
Right. So
You-
it's not as simple as if he's just a fucking
edge
huge
back
guy.
rower. You're the pivotal point of how outside defense. So if your edge back rower is making shit decisions,
Yeah.
it's just a knock-on effect.
But if you're defending in the centres, one out from the edge back
But-
rower, how much
No,
more...
you're two out.
Oh, sorry, 2 out. So, but like, how much more, I guess, specific, like lateral movement, those sort of things, like how different is it if he's a...
Well, it's
defending the
choices.
centres
So like
inside?
the edge back row is the one that gets the initial ball player usually. So if he makes a bad decision or doesn't get up enough or whatever, you're basically fucked on the outside. Whereas in the center, you not very rarely, but much more less. You've got much more traffic coming down that way, so that the decision isn't as important as the edge back rower.
Right.
Whereas if they see him at edge back row and he's starting, they're going, look, let's just run at him all day. He's not fit for that area. He doesn't make good decisions. Like he might, but we don't know. Let's test him. And also, you've got pretty good, edge back rows at the moment.
Yeah.
They're not playing bad. So
no,
like we wouldn't
absolutely
replace him.
not. No. I was just more thinking about him on the bench. Like,
Yeah.
is he Sully?
I think he's a good bench because he's big and he can play front row. He's that fucking
He
big.
fucking could.
What has
I just
happened to
wanna-
Aloiai?
Yeah, I just...
Wrist. Wow.
12 weeks sounds like a long time to me.
Well, he's had. I'm pretty sure he's had wrist issues before at the Tigers. and
really?
Can we not tape that fucker up?
They might not have taped it.
they haven't tried taping it yet. I'm pretty
Who's
sure.
the fucking trainer?
Who's the tape job, mate? Like, who's running the tape down there? I'll go up there and tape it better than that.
Mate,
Fucking oath you would.
12
Manly.
weeks? No, we can do that in the off-season.
And do we know why Tapau's out? Is it...
He got a head knock last week, so it'll be...
Matt Burton shoulder charged his head.
Fuck, well, is Matt...
Yeah, he
but Matt's
did
not
too, the dog.
suspended, is he?
I don't know about dog, but
Nah, he's a dog. He's a dog.
it was just I think it's because like Martin Tapau stepped as he stepped and
No, I
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we can't see the team there, but I mean, Paseka, good. I'm just trying to think. Kepi's actually been playing well. for
Kepi
me.
has been
Kepi's
great.
a fucking... And that Okalak, you know what? I can't pronounce his name and I
No,
apologise.
neither can I. I always,
Okalatu, I don't know.
Sibley was all right last week.
So I actually am
Yeah,
not
it
that
was.
concerned. Obviously, it's not great to have those guys out, but Okalatau, again, I'm sorry.
So who are they going up front?
Paseka, Kepi, yep, I'm cool with that. Oh, and Olakakata. I'm sorry. Olakau.
Apologies, yeah, I can't say it either, but he's fucking good.
He is fucking great. And in the back row, I like that. Josh Schuster's been great. Okay, that's not panic stations. We'll beat the fuck out of him. Cade Cuss on the bench. Every good team has a Cade.
This
We know
man
that.
here, Morgan Harper, is so fucking good.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Morgan's blown me away this season.
He has just
He's
been
nimble. He hits gaps really well. Like,
and he
he's
doesn't
always
look that
fucking-
big,
No,
but he's
no,
fucking
no.
strong as.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's strong.
That moustache is fucking incredible too.
Yeah, it's real hot.
But he was the guy that flicked past to Saab to dance down the
To
sideline.
dance down the sideline.
You know, like that's a huge play. If they win,
And that was like he got his arm free on the dog, Burton, and then as Toto came in, it was a fucking great play.
oh, it's a fucking fantastic play. Now he's been one of your finds of the season.
Yeah.
What's good at Manly at the moment though is you're finding these guys. Like a lot of these guys are not big names. Like even Schuster, like coming in, he's not a huge rookie name like a Walker or anything like that, but he's fucking playing so well.
There's an element to that, right? Where you say, like, the start of the season for Manly, it was like, we don't have depth. We've got no one
Yeah.
else. Anytime there's an injury and we're sort of wigging out. But you're right, we have sort of been able to develop a little
like
bit. of
Croker
depth.
is not a 9, but he's becoming a 9.
Yeah.
You've got Cade Cust, who's also not normally a 9. He's like a 6.
Yeah.
They're
I
both.
also like seeing my edge back rower fucking throw a little chip and chase in, if you don't mind. You know what I mean?
mix it up.
Josh Schuster has the best no-look pass in the NRL. There, I said it.
Yeah. Oh well, Benji the goat, but
Nah.
he's up there.
Benji used to before Josh Schuster.
So
You know what?
are you
Josh-
saying he's going to become the guy that puts nut on chest?
I'm saying early doors.
No,
he
he
is.
is.
He is.
Okay.
He's putting nut on chest.
Did you see him give
as
that
we
nut to
speak.
Cherry Evans a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Bang.
The nut when he nutted on Cherry Evans' chest?
Yeah, dude.
And Cherry Evans loved it and rubbed
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what...
Jesus fucking Christ.
but, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, great no look pass. Oh, Zach Sadler, no picture. I like that.
Bit of
That's
mystery there.
mysterious. Tip Zach for an anytime try.
Cade, I love Cade's photo. Look at him.
He's just happy to be there.
He's just happy to be there.
fucking
He
happy
loves the
man.
club.
He loves footy.
He
Loves
loves the
footy,
club.
loves the
All
club.
Cades do.
Yeah, that's true. And cadences.
Cade and Cadence.
Yeah, look, I still think Warriors are going to get the win, though.
No way. Are you serious?
No, that's a spite bet, dude.
No,
We
it's
know
not.
this.
Yes,
no,
it
no.
Spite bet.
Manly 13 plus. We'll
Nah,
dominate.
Warriors 15 plus. But I think Warriors 1 to 12.
Big outs though for Manly. They're fucking big.
Dragons v the Bulldogs.
Match of the round.
Fuimaono named at centers. Wow, that's interesting because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Maybe they do similar to Nakora, where Nakora and the Eels is fucking really good in the centers.
Zach's a big out. He broken thumb?
Fuck, he's so good too. Like he's
Yeah.
so important to them. It's fucking crazy.
Is he underrated? Because I just maybe it's because I don't necessarily consume a heap of Dragons games, but I do hear him spoken about. Like Joey's, I think Joey even picked him in his Origin team for this year potentially because he was kicking or something. But like by the layman, is he underrated? Or is he, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, I can't get a read on Lomax as to like.
I mean, he's rated by people that matter.
Yes.
But I think it's just because the Dragons have struggled so much, Well, if he's had like a top fucking 6 side, everyone's rapping him because he's fucking so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think Dragons get the win here definitely. Dragons 15 plus.
Dragons 15
Nah,
plus.
Dragons 13 plus.
I think it's probably safe to assume, but I was saying this I think I
Dragons
said it
1 to
last
12.
week. Dragons are a dirty merger club, as we know that. 2 clubs merged together, soulless. You can't trust them. You can't trust a dirty merger club. When you think they're going to win, they won't. When you think they won't win, they will, which is exactly what happened in the Tigers-Dragons game. Both dirty mergers. Tigers should have lost, they won. Dragons should have won, they lost.
Well, then if you know that, you should have known that they were going to lose.
I tipped Tigers for
Okay.
that reason.
Okay.
That's why I'm going Bulldogs, 1 to 12.
Bulldogs 1 to 12.
Just
Big.
just
No, I mean,
dirty mergers.
and that Bulldogs, that was one of the teams that Bulldogs did beat last year.
And the Dragons haven't won a game since Josh Maguire came.
I just think that like...
Omen. It's an omen.
I just think that I think they're going to look for a bounce back. I think it's going to be a bounce back game for the Dragons because like they need it.
They do need
They need it. And like if there's a team to bounce back against, obviously it's the Bulldogs.
Do
or
they
Manly.
deserve it?
Yeah, I don't know if they deserve it.
Neither do I.
But,
I still think Dragons will win because Bulldogs, unfortunate for them, are just
I feel
they're
sorry for
nowhere
them.
this season.
I feel sorry for
absolutely
them.
nowhere.
I think
But I think it'll be a dire affair. That I do think.
I think they're firming more as well for probably the spoon as well, doggies, unfortunately.
I think so.
I honestly just feel sorry for them. Like the fact, like I just, how did their club get in this such a position? You know what I mean? Like how?
But isn't there a club every year in this position?
Yeah,
you
but
know?
they've been in this
But
position
is
for
that part
fucking
of it?
ages.
Is that part of it? Is that someone
has to be a
has
loser.
to be?
But they like
Do you know what I mean?
year after year, like they're in like it's been how many years now?
6 years since I made the GF.
Like like they've gone from that to just like barely. They're just struggling.
There's nothing worse than when like we don't even want to bag them out. It's like we just all feel sorry for them. It's like that's almost the biggest fucking slap in the face you can get.
I felt sorry for him for years when
Yeah.
Dubbo Dean Pay was there, and I was like,
Well,
God.
Dean unfortunately had a face you felt sorry for. Dean always looked so laboured by the result. It was always like he just looked like he was Devo about it. You're like, fuck, Dean, I feel so sorry for you.
You've almost got to
I
go
think
in.
he was Devo about it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm pretty
Pretty
You
sure.
almost need to go in a head coaching role and just go like win, lose, I don't care, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like just fucking put it in your head, whatever.
Yeah, whatever happens, yeah.
Yep, whatever.
Steal yourself.
But
Impossible.
you'd be lying to yourself.
Yeah.
But like you can kind of talk yourself into like just suppress it and
Is that
then
what you do
fucking
with the
fight your
Broncos?
players. Sorry?
Huh?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
come
what
in
I do
your
with the
smile.
Broncos?
Come in and you smile and
You
go,
practice
hey.
your smiles before you come in.
Even after a win, and then it's like, oh, did you enjoy that win in the weekend? Xavier Coates is going. You're like, You like
Nah.
that thing where it's you're crying behind the mask of a smile.
Not at all. I believe in the club. I believe in the direction we're trying to take. And also,
Why are you
like,
smiling?
your owners,
are you smiling?
your
Why are you
owners are trying
smiling?
to sell your club. That's how much it's fucked.
Why are you smiling? Well, we actually
I'm smiling because I think about Manly getting sold and then kicked out of the comp.
That's all right. Clubs get sold all the time.
clubs get bought and sold. We were
Not
thinking
the
of buying
Broncos.
the club,
We're
We are
public.
actually going
We're
to buy
killing
a club.
We were looking to
Buy
buy
the
it.
club.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
might
we
buy
are.
it.
What's your first implementation then?
Sheesh, that's a good question. What's our first implementation?
I thought you would have thought about it if
Business
you're going to fucking buy it.
business as usual.
All right. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go Dragons, 13 plus.
Bulldogs 1 to 12.
Jargon's 1 to 12.
As
Life's
usual.
Too short.
Life's too short to be a Bronco because sometimes people can't handle the dizzying heights that it is to be the Broncos. Still the biggest club that makes profit in the NRL. Unlike how much money did you lose last year?
How much did we make? I think we made like 80
Lose.
million.
80 million.
Something like that.
Yeah, clear.
Net.
Yeah.
Make sure
That's not revenue, that's profit.
Make sure to follow Hello Sport on Instagram. They've got Punters and Dribbles on Facebook. You've got About Even on YouTube. You've got Hello Sport on YouTube. You've got Subscribe to Hello Sport on your podcast app. Grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, please. We've got some. Make sure you join Bloke Club. Join the Bloke Club because we've got some massive competitions that are going to happen and they're only going to be given to Bloke Club members. So join Bloke Club at bloke.club. We've got huge things coming for Origin. Grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, go down your local, or we'll be doing this with our lights off, as I always say, and I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.